Come wrestlers with open arms. In the heat of the struggle, we feel no harm. Through the fingers grip like steel's too strong. Together we thrive like a thunderstorm.
There we go. We're live finally. Okay, now we can rehash this shit. How's it going, guys?
Going good.
Nice intro.
Oh, thanks. You like it? Zach,
Yeah, I like it.
he does our editing and I do the music.
It's great.
Yeah. That's AI music, eh? That's fucked up, eh?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn.
All of our
That's pretty
shit's AI.
Yeah.
All of our music.
You got to learn how to you have to put in you have to put the words right,
Yeah.
or it sounds retarded. Like if you just put it,
Yeah, it'll say random stuff.
yeah, it's horrible, man. Yeah.
Just like the images, like we try to design stuff and like
Oh God.
instead of a C, it'll be a Q, and I'm like, damn
Or
it.
a three-handed. Have you ever tried to do two guys'
Oh,
arms?
yeah.
You get 5 arms or
Yeah.
something.
Like 6 thumbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Marcus from Arm Gods is like a genius at that stuff.
Is that who does all those funny ones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who actually made those.
Yeah, dude, he does some magic with that stuff. It's all in the prompts, I guess, how you word it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
The more detail, the better, but you got to have the right type of detail.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, we were a little late getting on. People are gonna have to see.
We started using it to design our medals, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can use it for titles too for videos. It's pretty good.
And contracts.
Yeah, yeah. You got me. I'm like, this is way too professional for me, man.
Yeah, Ryan didn't write this. No way.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This sounds like he's got me by the nuts
Thank you, Chat GPT.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Oh, what's going on? Wow, this is the slowest response to a pod start. I think I can't be so late.
Probably my fault.
Normally Drew and friggin' who else? Oh, what's her name? Carolyn.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Oh, Carolyn Looms, yeah.
She wants us to hook up 98 and through the fingers. So
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
oh yeah.
I love her, dude. She supports everyone.
Yeah, she does.
Every podcast, she supports it.
She puts posts for us and everything and puts it on her Facebook and
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, she does it for everyone. It's crazy. And she came to Winter Blast and she was selling like her soaps and stuff.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, she went and bought everybody like peanut butter sandwiches, bananas, all kinds of drinks. Like she was like making sure all of us were fed while we were working. I was like, you didn't have to do that.
No, she
What a
is
sweet woman.
I know. That's what I thought too. I mean, she's like the best groupie you can have in your chat.
Yeah.
Pretty
And I
much.
like that she supports everyone and not just like certain people, you know?
Oh, exactly. Well, I think, yeah, she supports mostly everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly everybody. Yeah. And I don't think she cares if there's beef between people either. Like she's just solid arm wrestling.
No, I mean, there are some people she won't support, like, you know, if they're banning people,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But for the most part, she's pretty neutral.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty good. She's pretty good. Oh, did that match get finalized? Is Cody pulling Jared? I think he is, right? Right-handed?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're doing
Yep.
a little super match event June 7th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just
That's
get
cool.
together and do a barbecue and
Yeah.
barbecue thing. Yeah, it's gonna be good. And it's out at my buddy's ranch. It's like beautiful out there. He owns like
Oh, that's cool.
red deer. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's a beautiful ranch. So we do it out there, and he doesn't charge us anything. So that's kind of
cool.
Well, especially when you're doing super matches, because I mean, it's just other than the content that we get from the matches, we don't get no revenue from it, right?
Yeah.
Not right now, anyway. Eventually, like I'll be searching for sponsors. I mean, I did kind of have sponsors when I was with Armfinity, me and this guy Ronnie, but we went separate ways, and I'm kind of just starting out fresh with Zach and Dakota now. So
Yeah.
we'll build it up again.
Yeah, people
We did
think
a
we
little
want
event
money.
already, one time.
Yeah, we did do a little event last year, and we had a big match. We had Bellin versus
did, yeah.
Rick Heidebrick. Yeah, that was a good match.
All right.
Yeah, Rick won. Yeah. but that was close. It was a good match, and we got some killers here in Alberta. Like you don't even know half the guys that are here, right? And that's what we found when we started going to Montana. They're like, "Who are you guys?" Because we went down there. We did Arms Again. So what was that? Canada? Well, it was mainly Alberta versus yeah, Montana, and we beat them 17-6. And then they went down this year. And what do you guys do? 11-1.
Yep.
Yeah. So Alberta beat Montana 11-1, just
Nice.
like a month and a half ago. Yeah. So like like we got some killers, and we didn't even send our best. We have better guys than we sent. So it was like that's why I've been thinking, this 98% merger thing and this franchise thing, it could be a really good thing for the 98% of us, the ones that aren't elite,
So I really feel like our concept, probably more than any other, gets more new people into the sport.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason we started it was like when I first started around here, it was all tournaments that were open class. So like a lot of us lower level guys were like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to that. You know what I mean? So they were like, it was like intimidating. So we were like, why don't we start our own thing? And then, just in talking at practice one day, we were like, it's only the top 2% that are the elite guys. And then the rest of us are like the 98% trying to get there.
Yeah. True.
And, if you think about it, it's not the 2% that are going to tournaments, buying merch, doing this and that. Like it's us that are buying handles and like, we are a much larger demographic than the 2% guys.
2%.
So I was like, why don't we do something that just focuses on us? And we ran with it. And, it's been growing ever since.
Oh, it was a really good idea. Like, it was like when we started the pod, we were like, what can we think of that would be a good arm wrestling pod name? So we were like, me and Zach came up with the name, and it was like Through the Fingers. I mean, when you're arm wrestling, that's where the path to victory is, right?
Right.
Like, it's just a good fucking name.
It's a good name. Yeah.
Yeah. So, at first people are like, Through the Fingers, what's that? I'm like, it's arm wrestling. It's like,
right.
It's actually a pretty good fucking name.
I thought it was sexual at first.
Yeah, I know. It's got a few aspects to it. Yeah. So, but this 98% thing, you think about it, it's a way to really like mesh together. And like, I know I asked that question on your pod, would you consider having your own ranking system? I think if it grows and it gets
good,
listen, it's already could be. So if we hop on and you get another, you could have 10 franchisees in like the next, little while.
We already have probably about that, like already talking about it.
Yeah. See? Yeah. So that's enough already. That's enough arm wrestlers in enough states to have a ranking system for North America,
Yeah.
So I mean,
and then, we were talking like, once we all get going, like we could all unite and throw one banger of a tournament at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Be like almost like a national event.
Well, we get to a certain size, maybe we can all look at, put in 1% from all our events, all the franchisees, and that can go towards one mega bash.
Why not 2%?
Well, maybe two. I'm just saying. I'm just starting low, just so it's like it's not like 8% in there now.
No, I was saying because the 98%.
And then when America buys Canada, we'll be united for real.
We'll be dirt cheap here soon.
Did you hear that? I heard Trump made an offer. Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah, but for Alberta, because he knows that we want to. He knows that we're pissed.
I'll trade you guys this new plane I got.
No, he said no. What I heard, he said
huge.
Just what I heard, right? He said that if we do it by a certain date, that he'll trade us dollar for dollar. So he'll allow us to exchange the U.S. currency dollar for dollar.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because how much money, how rich Alberta is. To tell you the truth, Alberta is richer in oil than anywhere in the States. Believe me.
That's crazy.
One of the biggest it's one of the biggest reserves.
Well, that explains why he wants it.
Well, that is why he wants it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got to think of as citizens, a Canadian dollar, it's like 63 cents or 67 cents on the US dollar.
Right.
You just gained 30 something cents on every dollar you changed. I mean, that's not a big deal.
Both my parents were born in Canada.
Mm-hmm. And they were smart.
Yeah. They moved to America. No.
Hey, listen, I love Canada, but I also ain't very happy with Canada right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
like
mean,
we
we feel
live
the
in,
same way about America sometimes, you know?
yeah, yeah. Like we live in a very conservative, we're a very conservative province. So,
Yeah.
and the rest, a lot of like the rest of Canada, not the rest, like I'd say 60% of Canada is very left leaning, like very liberal.
Yeah.
Like they'll lock you in
Yeah.
a concentration camp if they could. You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
during COVID.
Yeah, yeah, like that shit. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like they were really crazy. I drive to Ontario in my truck and people
Yeah.
would see my license plate and I'd be like, holy fuck, there's all the traffic, but I'd have the car behind me would be like a mile behind me because he
Oh my
seen I was
God.
coming from Alberta and like we were like
Like, stay away
anti-vax.
from him.
Well,
He
we
doesn't
didn't
wear
know.
masks. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get vaxxed. He's not wearing a mask. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
exactly. I had
Like you
people
have
like
you
sheltering
have the
their kids
plague.
from me. Yeah, yeah. I go into a store and people are like, "Oh," it's like, what the
That's
fuck?
hilarious.
Oh, it
How
was
far of a
bad.
drive was that?
Was the drive was that was
Yeah.
three and a half days. Yeah,
Jesus.
it's 4,000 kilometers to Ontario. Oh, so it's like 2,800 miles.
Oh my God.
They're close to
A lot.
3,000 miles anyway.
It's crazy.
Ontario. Yeah.
You can touch Ontario in way less, but to get anywhere in Ontario, you got
Ontario
to
takes
go another
longer.
1,000 kilometers.
It takes longer to drive through Ontario than it does the first three provinces. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah, it's a huge landmass. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And you
Yeah.
can't go straight through it. You got to go up and around or below it.
Yeah, Lake
Yeah.
Superior and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really
Yeah.
shitty.
So, but yeah, like the more and more I thought about it, like I watched your podcast and I was like, fuck that. Why does that sound like, because Zach knows I've been looking for something like anything I do, I like to have a purpose. So,
Yeah.
like, I love promoting events and I want to get back into it and I want it to be like us to do it together through the fingers. But I've been like, like everything that we planned, we kind of just like even the super match event. We wanted something. There wasn't a lot going on. We're like, we got to do this. We'll give some guys an opportunity. Whoever wants a super match, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like this 98% thing and how it all links together, and now it's hooked up with Armgut. And I'm thinking, and I've been really struggling to get Alberta pullers noticed like
Yeah.
on the North American stage. Like some of our guys travel, so you've seen some of our guys now. But
Mhm.
the thing is like Neil Pickup was talking a few weeks ago, and I was in the chat, and he's like, "Oh, Alex, whatever his name. What's his last name? Zach? Alex from Ontario, the Georgian. Cost was it? What's I don't know. Anyway,
Koshotsuke?
yeah,
Koshotsuke,
yeah,
whatever?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's like
I
he's the
can't,
best.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, he's the best there is in Canada. And I'm like, well, Kelly Leach just beat him in a super match. You know what I mean? And then he's
Yeah.
like, no way. He goes, Alex didn't lose. Who's this Kelly? I'm like, you don't know who Kelly Leach is? He's like, he's multiple time Canadian national champ. And he's like, anybody in Canada will tell you the Leach brothers. And then Neil Pickup didn't even hear of him before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, well, fuck, you're bragging about this Alex guy that no one can beat, but Kelly just
Yeah.
beat him in a super match. And you don't even know his name.
And
So, like,
there's people like that all over the place.
mhm.
Nobody knows. And I'm like, why don't we get those people, on the platform and get a light on them?
Well, yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, right? It's like, well, even this, I mean, they can all fill out the Arm Gods app. They can put their profiles
Yeah.
up there. Now they can compete at 98 tournaments,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. And as it grows, they'll get recognized through the 98. Plus, if a ranking system forms amongst it, that would be even sicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then we can have guys super matching from each.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So and then it would be, I don't know. I just see so much potential in it. And I
Yeah.
love the idea. Like I said, I mean, going over the contract, I'm like, okay, well, we better get an understanding on some of this because it's like, whoa, yeah, Mr. Lawyer came at me in a fucking paper, right? So yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Chat,
yeah.
my
Yeah,
lawyer, Chat GPT.
pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying to look up here. Kelly and his brother are both Canadian legends. Yes, they are, Clifton. Kelly and Dustin are fucking amazing. They're brothers and they're just crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Zach's gonna want to go up against Dustin one day here. Yeah, that's Zach's weight class. But yeah. So what better way to unite
Yeah,
everyone, right?
Yeah, I think
I
it'll be
like to be
cool.
light.
And I think having guys in different areas of the country and other countries like brainstorming together, like we can come up with like, you know, anything. I mean, whatever we come up with, we can just launch it immediately. It doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah,
A
well,
lot of the stuff we already do, we're just rebranding. Like, you know, we already do kids classes at all our tournaments, so we're rebranding it as like the 98 Youth League, and then we do women's at all our classes, so we're kind of rebranding like a women's league out of that. And then, you know, we're not doing anything that we don't already do. We're just branding it properly now and renaming stuff and moving things around a little just to streamline what we do.
yeah, yeah. What do you think, Zach? Are you there? Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah. What do I think, sorry? Of
Yeah,
what?
like what's some of your input on it? I know I'm so vocal and I overpower everybody, but like yeah, like I mean you're
I
getting the
think the
gist
more
of it.
people that are connected and the more people that know about it, the better, right? You
Yeah,
got to
Yeah.
look at almost any other sport that's mainstream because arm wrestling's not mainstream.
no, it's
Almost
not.
every other sport that exists is mainstream,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot
True.
of things that go along with that. That arm wrestling just we
it's not.
want to be different to the point where we are too different. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
Keeps
that we
us there.
can get together and share ideas and get ways to grow the sport in, and like you said, something that's not scary or intimidating or something that looks fun. You know what I mean? Because there's lots.
Yeah.
I have the reason I arm wrestle over everything else. I have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Same with me.
You'll see me
I'm
smiling
not
sometimes when
even
I'm
good
arm
at arm
wrestling.
wrestling.
Yeah, you have a
I
great
just
fucking
have
time,
fun
right?
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach will smile, yeah, while he's arm wrestling.
So I mean, as long as you're having fun, I mean, people will see that and they'll feel that energy. So
Yeah.
if we make it too like cornered off and too away, it's going to be harder. So yeah, the more open, the better, I think.
Yeah.
I
Plus,
agree.
I think it's cool because like we're not asking people to like just transform. Like if you already have a league or a club or whatever, all we're saying is just throw a 98 in front of it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
basically
it.
put a little number in front of the name of your club and let's go, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Oh yeah, man. Like my motto will be the 98% brought to you by Through the Fingers. But
Yeah.
that's just because I
Yeah.
have to put our
So
name first because that's our
right.
brand.
But the cool thing is you're keeping your brand
And
and
still
just adding ours to it and just kind of combining it. So
exactly.
you're not losing your baby, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
We're
And
just,
that's how you do it, right? If you're smart, right? That's what you do.
yeah.
Like but yeah, like just the linking. Like I don't know. Like I said, it's the biggest thing that hurts like things like this and why I think things like this in the past never worked because I've heard like the thing is you're doing so that's different, right?
Yeah.
But I've heard this whole concept before, and it's usually promoters kill it. Like usually it's the greed of promoters that doesn't
Yeah.
allow something like this to happen, right?
Well, that's something like, I mean, I've been called crazy, but like Sue Fisher's my partner with Winter Blast, and like we don't even pay ourselves from any of the stuff we do. We just whatever money we make, it buys the awards for the next tournament or whatever, and whatever's left, we upgrade our equipment or something towards the quality of the event, better tables, platforms, whatever, live stream equipment, and we just keep it rolling. We just keep putting it back in. And because I mean, I have a job, so it's not like I'm doing this for my full-time job or something. This is just like I just enjoy doing this, arm wrestling. I like arm wrestling. I like the promotion side of it. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Good, creating events to go hang out with your friends, basically.
Well, like I see big potential for this. I think a lot of people will be scared of this because it could take over, right? Like it could be the Premier League in a sense because it's tournament based. I mean, yeah, there's super matches and everything that can be held, but
Yeah.
the fact that you're linking you have a possibility of linking all of North America to one group. You know what I mean? Like just one, yeah, like you said, we still got our identity. We got Through the Fingers, everything else, right? But
Yeah.
this is linking everybody together, like, everybody. So I don't
The
know.
thing that makes me happy is when I hear people like, so 98, it's just really a concept, right? Like, the 2% elites and the rest of us are the other 98% trying to get there.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to hear people refer to them as the 2% and the 98%.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
cool. Like people
Sticking.
have accepted that that's the concept of pretty
But
much works in any
there's a lot of
sport,
truth in it, though.
honestly. You
Yeah,
know?
there's a lot of truth in it, though. I
Yeah.
mean, we are the 98%, and the 2% are getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
damn.
are. Yeah, yeah. So, you like we fund everything. I mean, in a sense, yeah. It's
Yeah.
the two. You make it to the 2%, then that's amazing, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, 98% of us are not elite.
Yeah. I mean, I realized early on that I'm never going to be a 2%er.
Yeah, you accepted it.
Not in this sport. So I'm like, hey,
I
I'll just
haven't got there
embrace
yet.
being a 98%er.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm training hard. I'd like to keep testing myself. If I go
Yeah.
stagnant where I don't feel I'm gaining,
Yeah.
then I'll accept it. But I've been gaining a lot. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I put a lot of work and a lot of time into training. And
Yeah.
Zach, you know what? Zach's just a natural on the table.
Yeah.
He doesn't even hardly go to the gym. Well, he doesn't go to the gym.
That's
Do you,
awesome.
Zach? No. Yeah,
He's got those good genetics.
he's just an arm. Well, he's light too. He's like 145, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's like, I think I got he's in the top 3 in the province. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so he's really good.
I tore my shoulder, so I was like, well, while I'm down, I'll focus on this 98 stuff, And
Yeah.
someone randomly reached out to me and was like, hey, would you franchise 98 and this and that? And I was like, no. And then like a month went by and I was like, well, why not?
Yeah,
What do I care if, like, I don't want to throw tournaments myself all over the world,
Yeah.
but what do I care if someone else is doing it? And I was like, man, I could write up a contract to make sure that they're living up to the same quality standards that we expect for 98 and have guys running tournaments all over the place under the 98 banner. I'm like, why not? And then I started putting thought into it and, started Googling franchising and how to do that, and we just decided, let's just roll with it. And like within a month, we just signed like 4 franchises already.
Yeah.
So it's, franchise might not even be the right word, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
been going good so far.
Well, yeah. And I like what you said too, like if you ever land a massive big sponsor or whatever, I mean, you would, what I mean? It helps everybody. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like being able to say that we're a national brand now because we're all over, that should be able to attract bigger sponsors than what we normally can get.
Well, yeah.
And being able to say, like we have Winter Blast, it's one of the biggest tournaments in the country, and now it might even get bigger with more people involved, and people might come from further out to attend.
Well, I think so. 'Cause we were thinking about going this year and it didn't work out, but
yeah,
I think I think the proof's in the pudding there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, Sue Fisher used to throw Winter Blast way back, like for 15 years. And, it was a smaller local tournament. And, I met her at the Philly practice. And when we came up with this 98 concept, we threw a couple 98 tournaments. And she was like, hey, I really like what you're doing. I'd love to bring back my Winter Blast under 98. And we were like, yeah, why not? With her name on it, and she's well respected around there, and, it just blew up. Like the first one, like every single year it went up like 100, entries. And we were like, oh my God, dude, it's getting big. And not this year, but the year before, we had 585 entries. And I was like, geez. This year it went down a bit because there was a lot of, everyone's doing these super matches. Like we had like 30 guys say, I can't come because I'm injured because I did a super match at my practice with my own teammates. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Well, we do them for club rankings sometimes.
Yeah.
Club. Yeah.
I was like, next time, don't do that the week of Winter Blast.
Yeah. Some guys are a little crazy. They'll do a match and then there's an event the next week. And that's how you see a lot of injuries too. Because even if they don't get hurt, they'll have to micro tear something and they don't know it.
Yeah.
And then they go to a tournament and then pop.
Yeah.
And then everyone thinks
we still got 500 entries, which to me, Like I don't care about the entries. It's more it was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I mean, the year before you got like, didn't you get like near like high 500s?
Yeah, 585 the year
Yeah.
before and then 500 this year.
Yeah, that's a lot of entries. Like, if we could hold an event, I mean, to break 200 is very common for mostly all our events. But I
Yeah.
mean, to get a 4 or 500 here, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we do stuff all over. Like we have some tournaments where we're at like 100 entries. And then we have some where we're at, 200 or 300. It kind of varies in the location we are.
mhm.
Because here where I live in the Northeast, I mean, you drive an hour and you go through 3 states,
Yeah,
like
no,
the rest of the
That's fair.
country is
That's
way more spread out. So like
Right.
we do tournaments in, New Jersey, PA, Delaware, Maryland, New York,
Mhm.
we can hit all those states fairly easy. So
Did Steve Fernandez try to get a franchisee?
no,
I didn't think
I
so.
don't think he likes us.
Yeah, I was just
Oh,
wondering. Yeah, I was just
yeah.
wondering. Yeah.
Well, he works with a few people that like are slightly
Already-
questionable.
Yeah.
So like, he- so I'll tell you what happened. I don't care. He'll hear this.
Okay.
So on one of his lives, his ref, someone said like someone had a 98 shirt, and his own ref, the head ref, goes, "Those guys are fucking retards." So I was like, dude, and then he shared that video on our 98 group. So I was like, dude, I'm not like
Yeah.
that's not okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, your head ref's calling us retards, but then you want to use our network of Facebook groups. I'm like, dude, that's
I know what
not
you mean.
okay. And he
Oh,
kind
they
of got
came out.
defensive.
Yeah, they came out with us to City Slickers.
Yeah.
You remember all that.
Oh
And
yeah.
all they did was talk shit about us the whole time afterwards. So
Yeah,
I
dude.
was like, I was the worst ref ever. Yeah.
Dude, I watched their podcast when
And
they
Ray
got
was
back.
with me. You can ask Ray.
Yeah,
Me and
Ray
killed
loved it.
Me and
Ray
Ray
loved
killed
you,
it.
man.
Yeah.
He spoke very highly of you.
I know, but Steve said that we sucked and I was
Yeah.
horrible ref and fuck. He even said Ray was horrible. Like he was like, I was like, wow. Ray actually is a good ref. He cares about refing. He's passionate. Yeah, I got Ray as down as
Yeah.
a very good ref.
He's one of the best refs up here in the Northeast for sure.
Yeah,
He takes
refs
it
just
very
like me.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah, he refs just like me too. Like he cares. He cares if he makes a bad call too. He's not afraid to say, "Listen, we're restarting.
Yeah.
That was a bad call." He'll do it.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
doesn't care. He'll
Well,
put that
sometimes,
in his
the
pride.
eyes, your mind doesn't work as fast as your eyes or whatever. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I called that too soon.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
A
call.
good rep,
Actually,
it evaluates the situation.
yeah. Well, you know
you
what's
can,
funny
you can
is
correct it.
Ray, listen to this. So Ray, Sam Mitchell? Sam Mitchell got pinned by Hunter, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after Hunter pinned him, but Hunter ended up elbow fouling, right? But we weren't sure. We thought so. So we said, because we didn't want Steve and them were freaking out, yelling at us. But we were like, Ray goes, let's do a replay. So we did a replay.
Yep.
We seen the elbow jump. Ray reversed the call, right? And he got a foul instead of a pin. So Sam didn't get a loss there. So Sam got another chance. Well,
Yeah.
they didn't even say that was good. They afterwards they just said we sucked. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll never do another event, and they'd never use us again as refs. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe they meant it just towards me, but he
Yeah.
didn't say me. He said them.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff they said on their podcast, I was like, dude, that could, like, instead of burning a bridge, that could have been handled in a few private messages. Yeah, there was nothing that serious that couldn't have been fixed, I thought.
And plus, Gelder actually he's a decent guy, and his production's fucking top notch.
Yep.
No one can tell me they got a better production than him because I haven't seen it yet.
That's why we had him on the podcast right after, because I'm like, they were talking so much trash on him. I'm like, all right, we got to have him on and let him clear his name a little.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right. And Gelder's like, he's a shy type of guy, right? So, and he doesn't like bad mouthing people online or nothing. So he won't do that usually, but he will stand up for himself. Right.
Yeah.
So,
I heard he's done with arm wrestling. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I know he's
Damn,
just had
man.
bad luck, man. Just bad luck.
That sucks.
People that he's done events with, they just don't mesh.
Yeah.
And he's tried really hard, and he just says, "Listen, I got UFC, I got bare knuckle fighting, I got
Yeah.
these other contracts, I got to make money now." But he's
Yeah.
still
Yeah. Yeah.
open to do events down the road.
Oh, that's
But yeah,
cool.
oh yeah, with the right people. It just
Yeah.
he just said that it's a person. He's got to just watch who he does business with. That's all, because you
Yeah.
get personality
It is
conflict.
true. I mean, there are some snakes out there.
Oh, there's definitely those
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, but I think it's a shame because the M Spot production was pretty special. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever watch any of the matches?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Even watching that whole thing, like the
Yeah.
camera angle switching and everything, like they
Cable,
did a really
cameras,
good job.
everything.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I said. I
Yeah,
said,
it was fun.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, like following the competitor, like from one
yeah,
end all the way walking in, and like I thought that was awesome.
yeah. He's walking with you, and you're like, yeah, fuck
And
yeah,
the way
Zach
the
does a
way like
backflip.
the way Steve and them like promoted, like we're getting a mansion, and then you see it's
Oh,
like
we're
a
doing
house.
a house
And
thing.
then
Yeah,
yeah, they're like it's gonna
just
be like a
fucking
reality show, and I'm like, dude, if I wanted to watch some grown men eat breakfast,
on their cell phones.
I could just
Yeah,
go to the diner down the street.
yeah, that whole thing was like, okay, where is it? And then I'm watching it. It's just him doing some lives with his cell phone here and there. I'm like, well, that's
Yeah,
really cutting it, man. Like, I'd be
yeah,
watching and say two people are watching. I'd be like, well, that sucks. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude. I tried to like get along with those guys and stuff, and it's like,
Yeah, it's hard.
you
It's
know,
ego shit there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when you're with all these guys talking trash and you don't see that that's a problem, I'm like, okay, well, it is
Yeah.
what it is, you know?
Yeah, it's the dramas, right? It's like seems like we're your podcast, my podcast. We're always covering drama because there's always fucking drama in the sport.
Oh yeah,
It's like I don't really get it. Like we're such a small sport, right? And we're trying to grow,
yeah,
but somehow, sorry, I had to have a hoot. Somehow we fucking just fuck ourselves.
yeah,
That's why why we don't get big sponsors? Because of stupid little squabbles. It's
yeah.
because of the
I agree.
promoter fighting and everything
Dude,
else.
so when we first started, like if someone like attacked 98 or me or whatever, we would just go back at them even harder, but that hurts the brand, you know
It
what I
does
mean?
though.
So
Yeah.
so we learned from that, and now whenever someone attacks us, we just throw an event and try to like slam it out of the park, and like that's how we defend our brand, is just making things better and bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Otherwise, you just keep going back and forth forever. Like, oh, I'll hurt you, you hurt me, we'll fuck each other
yeah, and
over,
then we'll just keep killing the sport.
and then you lose sponsors, and
Yeah. Well, that's what I find. I think, our biggest problem is promoter pride. That's what it is. It's you got last year or in the year before, you got people trying to do things, and then last minute they're getting told that they shouldn't hold their event because they got three people on a ban list on their event. And it's like, well, how do we even know that? You know what I mean? We don't even know that. Oh, how do you know? Oh, we
yeah,
know who's going there, they're banned. You better say, you know what I mean? It's like, hey,
yeah,
like stop policing my event. I had
right,
my event here in Canada. Someone brought up an issue with my event. I
yeah,
ran an East versus West qualifier here,
yeah,
and all of a sudden I get a thing saying, "Listen, Leah can't compete. You got to work this out." I'm like, "What do you mean? No one's telling me who can compete at my events." You know what I
yeah,
mean? And apparently, because Leia she won too. She's a world IFA world champion, but because she competed there, she was on a ban list, right?
yeah,
But the nice thing about it is she ended up signing a waiver. She got reinstated because see, even that whole WAF ban thing, that was blown away out of proportion. And Paul Italia, what a nice guy. I like him, but man, he blew that up, man. Like
yeah,
it was like something really little that got blown up into this big, huge fucking thing. It wasn't as big as
yeah,
everyone thought. Like it wasn't
right, right,
the bands. So like I was all ready to go to war, so I went on that conference call that Paul was
yep,
supposed to be on, and
yeah,
then Paul sabotaged it by saying something stupid. He goes,
yeah,
he said, and then they kicked him out. But anyway, so I was in the meeting, and all that it ever was that if people competed at IFA, It's not even a personal thing. They don't really know personally who competed at IFA. They get the results and of who
Yeah.
attended, and it's automatic. They just get put on a suspended list
Yeah.
because they do. That's just their policy. Now, do they give a shit? WAF doesn't even give a shit because WAF makes zero money off North America. We don't pay them anything. Our government doesn't pay them. The rest of the
Right.
world pays them
That's
big
why they
money.
don't care about our country.
They don't give a fuck about us. I'm telling you, they really don't. And then and all that really came out of it was Simon's like, listen, you know what? You're not ready for the big leagues. Go to IFA. You're going to be on the suspended list, but listen, we don't know like each and every person that's on that list. If you want your name off of it, you just contact us. You know what I mean? If you ever think you're good enough to come to WAF, because it is a different playing field between IFA and WAF. I'm sorry, but the competition is different. I have friends, I haven't attended, but I've had friends that went. And anyway, he just said if you ever want to compete in WAF, you just sign a waiver form, and you know what? We take you off the list, and then you can compete at WAF. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no hard feelings. So
Well,
I
that's
didn't
the funny thing.
understand. Well, I
Like
didn't
they said,
understand
if
all the
you are
drama.
banned, you can just write a letter and get unbanned.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Now if you got unbanned and then went back to IFA again, you might get it. You might get worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, the only problem that
Harsher,
was
a
and then
harsher letter.
and you know what the drama was? Well, through all
Yeah.
that shit, all those hours, you guys talked about it and Paul talked about it. You know what the drama was? That you had promoters policing other people's events. That's all it was. You
Yeah.
had promoters watching who goes to this guy's event and that guy's event and ratting them out.
That's what got me mad was like some of these guys were saying, "Oh, we don't message people and tell them not to go to events." And then I had people at Winter Blast coming up to me going, "Look at this text I got saying, if you compete at Winter Blast, you're banned from my event next week. So be careful." And I was like, "Why would you even say that to someone?" Because
Oh.
nobody's really watching. Like, you don't have to do that. It was kind of annoying to see that. So I was like, well, and the whole thing with Engen, he didn't understand what 98 meant. He thought that I was saying that 98 represents 98% of the sport and that he only represents 2% of the sport. And he was like, people don't even know you guys over here. I represent 98%. It's the other way around. And people were trying, even Paul Lynn was like, no, Engen, you have it wrong. It's like, let me try to explain it to you. And he just did not get it. And that's why, we made fun of him for a while with the eyebrows and all this stuff.
Ingen, listen, he's a very emotional, passionate guy.
Yeah.
You know what? I sent him a message once, right? I actually like it. He's nice to me now, but I sent him a message once. I said, this is back when East versus West started. And listen to this. I go, Ingen, I love what you're doing for the sport. I said, you've given arm wrestlers a dream like the people had back in the day with the UFC. I said, now we have something to strive and train for, and hopefully one day we can become a East versus West superstar. And I said, thank you so much for giving this to us. He got back to me. This is not the UFC. Don't compare me to the UFC. And he banned me and then blocked me and fucking, I was like, whoa. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I mean? And he got pissed. And I gave him that was the nicest message I ever sent anybody ever. I couldn't believe it. But he took it the wrong way because he read it.
Same with me. I sent him a message. I said, hey, Engen, I have a lot of respect for you, but I think there's a misunderstanding of the concept of 98 or like a language barrier. And I said, here's what it means. And I sent it to him. And he posted our conversation and then blocked me. And I'm like, what the hell, dude?
No, I know, because I think he when he reads, he translates it different. He does. I've been told that. People have told me, Ingen, when he reads it, he doesn't understand our grammar and stuff when we type and stuff like that. So he misinterpreted it. Like, he just and he blows the gas.
Did not get it.
Yeah. So I just don't. I'd keep it simple now. It's just thanks, Ingen, or nothing. I'll say nothing. I don't blow smoke up his ass or nothing because that shit will bite. It'll bite you. Yeah.
We're more laid back now than we used to be. Like, we used to go hard at people, or if someone poked us, we were like, well, we'll just poke you hard.
You used to go,
and now we're just like, fine, who gives a shit?
Well, that's probably better not to.
Anyway.
It's
we got too much to focus on.
So. No, it's true. It's true. It's like the dramas are nice to talk about on the pods and stuff because it kind of it's exciting, right?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
like when those beast mode guys
yeah,
fucking didn't pay everyone. We're like, we
well, that's
got to
just
talk
it.
about
Yeah,
that. That's news, you know.
Chris or whatever,
That's
and
fair.
Yeah,
Larray. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they didn't pay, and none of them got paid. Do you remember what Chris said on your podcast?
yeah.
He goes, "I promise, I don't care if it's 100 here, 100 there. They will all be paid
Oh
one
yeah,
day."
he's still
Remember? Yeah, I
yeah.
talked to some of
And then
those
he did the
guys.
women's tournament and shit.
Yeah, and none of them have been paid. Right?
Crazy.
No,
No.
I know. It's like,
And then when he said, I did a door fee, but I kept that separate for my club. And I'm like, dude, you owe people money. Like,
you pay up.
what do you mean
I
it's
think the
separate?
only person I know that he paid off was Cody Wood. I don't think he paid him off fully.
No, no.
I think it was just like hush money, like stop
Hush
It
money,
was
yeah.
it was
blasting
stop
this
making
out there.
videos about it money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like, even like I said, the Knuckles Up thing, like I heavily support Knuckles Up, but in my mind, they can't run another Arnold's. They can't run another fucking Knuckles Up until every athlete's paid and they go public and say sorry. They
That's
had
the
to
only
do,
thing that I think they really dropped the ball on was
not going public.
transparent,
Yeah,
being
transparency.
transparent and making a few posts. But I think they thought maybe it was better not to, but I don't think that was
That was a bad
the right
choice.
choice.
Yeah, I know it was.
I know they are working on paying people back. They have most of the people paid back, and they're changing their ownership dynamic a little bit, and they're planning on coming back. But now,
I'll support them again, but I just
yeah,
want everyone paid in full, and I would
yeah,
like to hear some transparency from their end.
yeah,
And if they do that, then I'll start fucking loving it, and I'll buy their pay-per-views and everything else. But
yeah.
I'm not
And
going to buy a pay-per-view for them to pay back the athletes they never paid. You
yeah.
know?
No.
But now they're aware, like now they have to have the money up front because nobody's going to come do it on a handshake. Like they're like, no, I want to get paid in advance. So
Yeah.
not only did they have to pay everyone back, now they got to raise enough funds to throw
Front
the
the
next.
money, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if they
So,
make good for them. I hope they do.
I mean, they had good shows, good matches.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's good. We support the hell out of them.
And they're
And
for the arm wrestlers,
Yeah.
They started off great. The beginning, they were paying guys, they didn't have to pay nothing. They're giving them merch bags and shit.
yeah,
And it turned into show up and you have to pay for your own room.
yeah. Some of it too was, I was talking to them about it. Some of it was, they're following what they were getting for pay-per-views, and it was slowly growing, kind of like Mac. They had a couple small ones at first, and it started to grow. So they kind of had a projection of where they thought it was going to go. And then whatever happened, whether it was a hack or something, and all of a sudden that just got cut down, and they were like, we were depending on that money.
Yeah.
Which that was one of the mistakes. Like to me, like if you don't have it in your hand, we don't do cash.
You don't have it
unless I'm holding that cash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, hey, we have this much for cash payouts.
Yep.
But if I don't have that, we do not promise anything. Like the Billy Berg thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, we're not pulling Billy Berg. Like if and no offense to Billy, he's a nice guy, but he was depending on the entries and didn't get the amount of entries that he thought he was
not even close. But how many entries did he think he was going to get? Like,
I don't know,
the
man.
people that he brought, like Gabby from Brazil, and like he had everyone there. Yeah, and listen, you know what? Tell you the truth, I won't hold an event unless I know that I can cover it. If everything fails and all hell breaks loose, I got it covered.
Yeah,
even if I'm out of pocket, I will not hold an event. I'm not going to ever screw over the athletes, like ever.
Yeah, dude, I'd go sell my car to fucking
yeah.
Like whatever.
For a while. We did an international event where we bought the Uzbekistan national team here, and we had everything went wrong. Our merch didn't show up. Our fucking medals didn't show up. Nothing showed up. We had no prizing. I had to go, our sponsor screwed us over last minute because we were supposed to have $100 gift cards along with a prize for first place, right?
They just bailed.
You didn't get those, right?
Oh,
well, we got $25 ones, and it was like, anyway, we got screwed. So I ended up going home, grabbing a few grand, like quite a few, actually a few grand, and handing out $100 bills to all the winners. And like,
oh my God.
I paid for everything. And then we had the refs. We had the fly the refs in from Toronto. We had Dave Knox and Craig Sanders, or Craig, I don't know his last name actually, but anyway, two of them from Ontario had to fly them in. Their flight got fucking canceled halfway or something. and then I had to pay double for a connecting flight because they shut some hack or something shut down the airport. So I ended up paying like
The same one that
4,500.
hacked Knuckles up.
Yeah, oh, maybe I don't know, but $4,500 I paid in just for two refs to show up, two master refs to show up.
Dude, people don't realize like
Yeah,
we at Winter Blast we spent $6,500
yeah,
just on refs.
yeah. Especially you want to
You
have
know,
master refs,
and then
high
the
level refs.
venue was like $7,000 for those 2 days.
Yeah,
You know, and then we had all those super matches the night before, so all those guys pulled for free. So even though we got 500 entries, that doesn't mean we made this
that doesn't mean
astronomical amount of money.
Not when you're pulling, not when your overhead was 17,
Yeah.
18,000.
People do the math and think, oh, these guys are pulling in all this money. I'm like, dude, we're actually $4,000 in the red on that event.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's easy to do. It's easy to
But
do.
because 98 is like my thing, I look at it as, I don't view it as a loss. I'm like, dude, people left that event saying it was one of the best tournaments they've ever been to. So to me, it's like kind of like a promotional loss, like I paid for extra promotion for that event. Or
No, I know.
That's how I try to trick myself into not crying about the loss.
Well, see, you know what? This is another thing too. Sometimes, if you think that you can just be a promoter and you're just going to hold events and things are going to be great, expect it not to be the case. Yeah,
wake up.
Yeah, wake up, because I'm telling you, being in the red is common. Breaking even is you're happy, and then when you make profit, you're jumping and doing backflips. Like
But
one year
we made a little bit of money off Winter Blast 1 year, and we were like, "Oh my god, what do we do?" And so we bought a trailer to put all our stuff in, so that we can throw tournaments a little easier than it being in like 4 of our cars.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a good idea.
Well, see, this is where could be good, right? Because the franchise thing, like you said, we got the franchisee has access to these vendors. I mean, and everything's cost efficient, and you're gonna, if you find a new vendor and it's even cheaper, we get access to that.
Right.
Exactly. And in a sense, I mean, that's the direction you want to move to make money as a promoter.
Yeah. Because I think the more of us there are ordering from the same vendors, they may be willing to work with us and lower their prices a little,
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my goal, is to constantly negotiate better prices for everybody for, medals, t-shirts, stuff like that. I mean, you make a t-shirt now, maybe if you're lucky, you might make $4 or $5 off it.
Yeah.
But imagine if you could make like 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's a game changer. That could be payout. That could be a payout difference for first, second, third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And like we had a bunch of sponsors sponsor the women's payouts at Winter Blast, but we did not get any sponsors for men's payout. So we could only do women's. And people bitching about that. And I'm like, look, if I promise men's payout and, we don't get enough money in to cover that, we're screwed. And we would have been screwed had we done it. So and it's always these little promotions that bitch about it. And I'm like, dude, you guys have like maybe 100 entries. You and your best friend are the refs. You don't hire anyone.
Yeah, that's right.
You got 2 tables, 0 overhead.
Yeah.
And you get the place you're throwing it at for free.
Yeah.
And you're doing cash payouts because you're paying them from the entry fees.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that because, God forbid, one snowstorm and that could have wiped out and we get half the entries. And then people like, hey, you promised all these payouts. And then I don't want to be in that position.
Well, they don't realize the venues too. Like Zach, you've seen our venues, right? Like Deerfoot in the casino. That was no fucking cheap venue, man. I can tell you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, people always say like, why don't you get a free venue? And it's like, okay,
do you want to be professional, or do you want?
But you want it to continue to be in a dive bar, or do you want it in like a casino or a hotel? Or,
This is a hotel casino, but it was like high end. It was nice. And then even the next event, I did it in their fucking showcase room with all the lights and everything, the stage and everything. That was fucking, and we didn't even make use of everything, and it was thousands of dollars.
Oh, dude, it adds up quick.
Yeah.
And then stupid stuff that you don't think of. They were like, "Oh, you want internet?
Yeah. You want catering?
It's
Oh,
$2,500 for a drop." And I'm like, "What?"
yeah. You want a projector?
Yeah.
If we'll put in a projector, it's only $1,000. And
Yeah,
you want a DJ for the event?
Right.
Well, that's 1,500.
Yeah.
You want popcorn and pop at all the
Yeah,
tables?
food, alcohol stand. Oh, that's another
$750. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden the
Great.
bill is like $12,000 for the venue. Like,
Yeah.
and you got to tell them, no. We just want the space, and access maybe to the sound equipment if you have it. You know what I mean? Like,
Someone always bitches like some tournaments, like in the beginning, we would get like, the bigger medals for the pro and then a little bit smaller.
for them.
So at Winter Blast, I would, because like when you order medals, how you have the mold fee and all that. So I'm like, why make 3 different sizes? Let's just get the big ones for everyone.
Yeah.
People still cried about it.
Yeah. Then you got them saying,
man. And then the dragons are expensive,
Yeah, those were cool. Yeah. Have you seen some of these 3D printed plated trophies?
No, but I got a 3D
I
printer
3D print
that we've
too.
been
I
doing
3D print. I have
doing
two
some handles and stuff.
Yeah, I do all the handles. I do all.
Yeah.
What do you have for a printer? You got a
Bamboo Labs
Oh, do you? I got two K1s.
X1C.
Yeah, I got two K1s, but I'm gonna get a K2
Nice.
soon. Yeah, I don't know, bamboos. I mean, they're just clones of the bamboo, pretty much.
Yeah, bamboo. The reason I like it is it just works. You don't have to fuck with it.
That's what I thought about Creatility or whatever
Yeah.
that company is. Yeah,
Reality.
I like them, man. Yeah, I don't know. I got two K1s and they one's carbon fiber setup, and the other one I just do PLA. Yeah,
I've had no problems whatsoever.
No, me either. No,
None.
I've had a few errors on files and stuff, but
Shit, the first 2 weeks I had it, it ran 24/7. Just fucking.
yeah.
I just kept hitting print again.
Me too. Yeah. I know. I printed so many handles. It wasn't fun.
Dude, I had like hundreds of handles in the first 2 weeks. I'm like, what do I do with these?
But I've been looking into getting, electroplating is actually pretty easy, man. It's just a few little containers, a couple containers of chemicals, a fucking battery, and a power station. And you just add the metal and it dissolves and you can plate it right to the fucking 3D prints.
That's awesome.
They're 3D prints, but then you can plate them silver, gold, whatever you want.
That's pretty cool.
And then they're metal in the end.
I've seen some cool like 3D printed metals, and I'm like,
yeah, they're real cool.
We did some skulls, these big skulls for 1 year, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, these feel lightweight and cheap," and I was like, "Well, fuck off, then, dude."
Yeah, I know.
It was like a novice too, like in the novice class. I'm like, most tournaments don't even get anything for the novice.
Nothing. Yeah, we just still took 6 hours to print, asshole.
Right. Yeah. I was like, what the hell, dude? Jesus.
Yeah. Who are you to
I
say
thought they were
6
cool.
hours?
I'm like, I'd rather have that than like a chintzy little novice medal.
Me too. I love trophies, man. I started arm wrestling when they stopped trophies. It's just like everyone gets medals.
Yeah.
So I only got 2 trophies. Yeah, very unlucky.
I only got a couple as well.
Yeah,
we did a super match thing, and we 3D printed those little like middle fingers that have like 2 legs standing up like as the trophy.
Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah.
Some of the guys like that. Only like one person was like, "This seems cheap," and I'm like, "Well, if you buy that on Amazon, it's like $10, and a medal would have been probably half that. So be happy."
Yeah, Carolyn should come and compete in Alberta.
There's Carolyn.
Totally.
Yeah, we got some women.
There's our girl, Carolyn.
We're trying to grow the women's arm wrestling. Like I stopped charging women. Like women go for free. Yeah, but hopefully one day I can charge the women. But I would never dare do it until we can grow the sport, right? But you know what? Even free isn't good because there's still no one comes. Yeah. I mean,
see, so some of our tournaments we do free.
Yeah.
Winter Blast, because we did the women's payouts, and they also got the same medals and dragons as the men.
That makes sense.
We still discounted it. Like we did 40 for the men, and I think it was 30 or 20 for the women.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because you know what, we did cheap out one tournament because money was tight, and I didn't want to charge women. I just didn't want it. So they got certificates.
Oh, were they pissed?
Yeah, we did that once, but then I felt so bad after we didn't do it again. No,
yeah. Well, dude, 1 year. So 1 year we did dragons for all the master classes. Well, the next year we couldn't afford it, and some guy came and he was so fucking pissed off, and I'm like,
because he wanted.
I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. We just didn't. We still got medals, but we couldn't afford the dragons. that year. And then this year, of course, they're back for all the Masters.
He
So
came all.
he was
came,
like, "I'll never go to a '98 tournament again." And I'm like,
because he
"Ouch!"
drove 10 hours. He seen the Dragons and he goes, "I'm
Yeah,
going." And he drove 10 hours, and then he found it.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no, we couldn't afford it this year.
yeah, dude. So I messaged him like, "Bro, I will mail you a dragon. I don't want anybody out there hating on '98." And he's like, "Fuck you! I'll never come to a '98." I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry that we couldn't afford it, but
You're not going to please
Damn.
everybody.
yeah, it was crazy." That shit cracks me up, though.
No, and that's true. You know what? We don't have amateur female here because we have the same 10 ladies all the time.
Same here. Like it's hit or miss. Like sometimes we'll get 10 to 20 women, and then sometimes zero.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a pile of medals here that I have nothing to do with.
I know.
They didn't show up to win them.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped doing like dates on them and stuff, because I'm like, oh, if we ever use this design again, maybe we could get rid of them, or we just give them to the kids. Like an extra medal for the kids. Like here.
Why
Our
not,
women,
right?
though, I will say our women have gotten really good, though, because they can only train with the guys and then they're competing against the same people all the time.
Yeah.
They've honestly, like Leia went to Florida and crushed everyone,
Nice.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christy Flicka, Maria Peterson. My daughter even started getting pretty good before she got knocked up. And I got to get my first grandkid coming this summer. So, August.
I like how you said that.
Yeah, I
Knocked
know.
up.
I know. But
She killed her pronation.
she actually had a match on that Armageddon, that
nice
spot thing. Yeah, my daughter was the opening match on that, and she
Oh,
won.
nice. That's
She
cool.
top rolled the shit out of that chick. Yeah, it was good. yeah. But anyway, yeah. But no, and then who else do we got? I'm just giving shout outs to our pullers in case they're watching.
Yeah.
Hannah from Edmonton, she's getting pretty good. Yeah. Oh, Ambrin Drouse.
I was gonna say Ambrin. Ambrin's real good.
Like total killer. Yeah, like I don't know how I forget.
It's hard
her.
to get the women to show up. Like,
yeah,
Winter Blast. Now that we do the women's payout, now they're showing up.
Now they're showing up because now they feel okay. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what we got to do. We got to look at doing that.
It's actually something to win.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people out there that will sponsor the women's payout over the men's. So like we have no problem getting sponsors for women payouts, but men's payouts, very difficult.
yeah, I know. See, so we had some sponsors, and then they just want to give gift cards to us, which is okay.
Actually, M Spot sponsored the women's payouts too.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
He gave us some money towards the women's.
We've sponsored the M Spot.
Shout out M Spot.
We've sponsored every event from the M Spot. Yeah.
Shout
Mind you,
us.
I sent the money to the wrong guy on City Slickers. Yeah.
Oh.
I sponsored Steve Fernandez's Ultimate Fighter House. You know that thing we were talking about? Yeah. I sent him $500 US to help him out. And I should have sent it to Gelder, right? Because I didn't know. I thought they were in cahoots. I thought they were just friends and working together. It turned out they hate each other and fucking. And then Steve, after I give him $500 US and I fucking ref his event and do all this shit, he just says I suck ass and that he would never use me again. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what
Thanks,
I mean?
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like a good kick in the nuts. Like, yeah.
I'll just never visit New York.
Yeah. Well, mind you, we talked afterwards, and like I still seem like we still seem friendly.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna forget it though. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I think he's okay, and I think he might even have felt bad afterwards. But boy, man, what a low thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He tried to do the City Slicker thing down with the Virginia guys.
Oh, okay.
That fell through.
Oh.
It got weird with the money
without the production. And then he's an egomaniac, so he wants everything his way, right? So it's like good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really worked with him, but that's what I hear.
Well, listen, Gelder,
he sponsored one of the Winter Blasts.
Okay.
A couple $100, and then we have our main banner on the stage, which is for the bigger sponsors.
Yeah.
And he came to Winter Blast, and he comes up to me all mad, and he's like, "Why the fuck isn't my logo up on that?" And I'm like, well, if I had to explain to like our $1,000 sponsor that we put the $150 sponsor on the same banner with him, he'd
It's gonna
probably
offend
not
him.
fucking sponsor ever again.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
There's levels, right?
he didn't understand that whatsoever at the time, anyway. But that
No.
was before he was like a promoter. So
Oh, okay,
he
okay.
was just getting into it.
Yeah, but he was just getting into arm wrestling, and then he went head over heels and wanted to be
Yeah.
the man. He's like the Al Pacino of arm wrestling, right? Like,
That's what Dan Schwartz said, that he's the Dana White of arm wrestling, you know.
yeah, oh yeah. And did you see me and Dan? We had a little beef too.
Me too, dude. Me
We
and
made,
Dan have too. He's a weirdo too.
yeah, we made up. He
Yeah.
apologized, but he came on our pod in the chat
Yeah.
and goes, because I had Dustin Finley on from Montana. He's an arm wrestler from there. So we were shooting the shit. We had a 2-hour podcast. So you know how like the topic gets kind of, it doesn't always talk about arm wrestling after 2 hours.
Yeah, that happens to us all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Oh yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, and then we're talking about semen retention and
semen
weird
retention,
shit.
all that. Yeah. So we were off. We were off talking about some other shit.
Yeah, I was listening to that.
Yeah, and then he came in the chat and goes, "What kind of podcast is this? I haven't heard one word about arm wrestling in 5 minutes." Ha ha ha.
Oh God.
And he goes, like, "What am I listening to? Where's the arm wrestling?" And I'm like, "Did you just come and bash me in my fucking chat?" Anyway,
well, you could go on his podcast and listen to him ask for money for two hours.
Well, I got pissed. I'm like, because we were friends and I was promoting his channel and I was on his podcast. He had me on like 3 times.
Yeah, so anyway, that's annoying.
But I don't know if he's a closet drunk, because it was almost like it wasn't him. Like it was
somebody. He does. Yeah, he did have a problem there.
I don't know.
For a while.
He didn't seem like himself in the chat because he didn't even realize it. He apologized. He said I was being sarcastic. But sometimes when you type, it doesn't come out right. I'm like, yeah, like the way it came across is you're saying what kind of shitty podcast we are, because we're talking about fucking jerking off. Like, you know what I mean?
He used to come on ours all the time in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what happened with Dan Schwartz. So I guess there's a business near him that he went over there and was talking to them and was trying to show off. So he goes and tells them that he's going to give them like 25 free 98 shirts without running it by me. And I'm like, dude, 25 shirts. Do you know how much that is? You know what I mean? I said, dude, we can't do 25 shirts for free. I said, look, well, I'll do them at cost, but you're going to have to go talk to them about this.
Yeah.
Like, no way we can do it for free. We don't even have that much in stock right now. So he comes back to me and he's like, okay. So I round up the shirts and I mail them to him. No, he gave me the address of the place. So I mail them. And a week goes by and they got shipped back to sender, right? So I get the package back. So I called Dan. I said, dude, they sent the package back. Give me your address. So I fill it out, send it to his address. So he's having, he does that backyard barbecue event that he does.
Yep. Yep.
So he's there. And one of my guys that was there texted me. He's like, dude, Dan's fucking talking so much trash. Dan's going around telling everybody that I fucked him on these t-shirts and I never mailed them to him and I was lying and all this shit. And then literally at like 2 p.m., the mailman fucking delivers the shirts on the same day of the event where he was talking shit on me.
Oh shit.
But he never went and corrected the shit talk.
No, he just left it lingering.
So he just left it like that, like people thinking I screwed him over. And I'm like, you fucking little bastard.
Yeah.
So I was like just done with him after that. Like, no.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like a lot of drama from those guys. But like I said, I mean, Dan did apologize to me. So Dan, we're cool. But yeah, just, I was reserved myself from talking smack.
He never apologized, but when I see him, I'm always like, hey, buddy, how you doing? And like, and he's just like, oh, hi, Ryan.
Yeah. I know he's yeah. I'd like for him to. I would actually like a couple of our guys to pull him and smack him around a bit. So.
Yeah, dude. Man,
we got some killers.
The whole fucking
perfect match.
The whole cringy nightmare fucking thing. Like, dude. First off, you can't call yourself the Nightmare when you have a tattoo of a dream catcher on your arm.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. It means you can't.
You're right. For multiple levels,
it makes no sense.
Like, fundamentally, right. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I was there the day he makes it sound like someone else gave him that nickname, but I was there when that conversation happened, and he just ran with that nickname on his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't give yourself a nickname, dude. Come on. That's why my nickname is the worst arm wrestler in the world. I didn't come up with that.
You got beat
That's
by
what
Paul
people
Italia.
call me all the time.
You got beat by Paul Italia. So
Yeah, right, dude. There we go, right there.
if a midget can beat you up, I don't know.
Yeah,
No, I'm
exactly.
bugging. Paul, I'm only bugging. You know, Paul's really good, and he supports our channel. He's posted it and everything. So
Yeah,
he's
he's
pissed
got
me off. He's pissed
some
me
stuff.
off a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still he cares about arm wrestling. He does.
Yeah, and he sponsored Winter Blast, even though he wasn't like in the sport anymore.
Yeah.
And he's focusing on that business and
Yeah,
his
the junk. What's
channel.
that anyways? Like junk removal or something.
Yeah, junk removal. Yeah.
Yep.
I just
Junk
Dude,
removal.
I watched his podcast on that. It's
I did, but they don't. But I feel bad
Pretty
for
good.
him because he's got 3 people watching all the time.
Yeah.
Or 2, because it's junk removal, right?
but it's like he has guests on that are really good at
really
it, you know,
educated too. Yeah, know how
and
to
they
make
have websites and it's like all laid out. Like
yeah.
for a minute there, I was like, man, should I start a junk removal?
Yeah, I
fucking
know because
Yeah,
there's
sure.
money in it.
What's
Buddy.
going on here?
I used
Yeah.
to do it. I used to
Yeah.
do it a little bit. Yeah, buddy. I used to go. I used to go around the alleys and pick up all the car rims that are sitting
Yeah.
in the alleys because you get the aluminum and then you can take all
Yeah.
that to the fucking scrapyard and get paid for it, right?
Right.
Yeah, buddy. And it's just
He's
people
got like
just
an
lay it
antique
out.
shop. So
Yeah.
like when he does these house cleanouts, a lot of the stuff he can go sell in his shop. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and Christian's watching. Stu Bellick. He's the one who threw up your name for the challenge against Gavin. So he said, nope, Christian and Gavin got to have a super match. So
You know what's hilarious? I just in the chat put you versus Gavin.
yeah. So yeah,
That'd be a good match.
I actually think so. I think Gavin's got a lot better, and I don't know how much I haven't pulled you in a while, Christian. I don't know how much you've been training. Yeah.
I don't think he's been training much, just working.
Well, he just
So
works.
he's not like getting any weaker. I think he stays pretty.
We should do another
level.
practice at Stu. We should do a practice one weekend at Stu's here coming up.
100%.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Did you guys see the VAL thing where that kid Logan pinned Devin?
Yeah.
And
I see
the poor kid's getting hammered. And I'm like, dude, even Devin leaned over to the kid and said,
yeah, good.
oh, you little fucker, you almost got me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
either way, though, that's the only person who got a pin on him.
Yeah, and he flashed him and he didn't expect it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not like, like Devin was, of course he wasn't fresh.
No.
You know what I mean? But it's still impressive.
Yeah, it's very
the
impressive.
only person that snuck one in on him was this kid Logan.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And I think even Devin was like, good on you.
Oh.
Like, even though he's a little snooty, but he was like,
With the left hand pin?
It was a left hand one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all that, but then also watching it back,
didn't look like a pin. It looked like
no. Even if you did pin him, the guy's elbow came like.
Yeah, I know.
But I could get pretty close to the freaking.
I know what you mean.
Quick,
I know what you
I
mean.
could get my own, but with all that combined, the refs called.
So he almost flashed.
Screw all
him
that.
right.
It was a pin. The ref said pin. That's all that matters. So
I don't think Devin cares because it's like Devin lays down usually and won't win anyway. He doesn't like the prizes.
Yeah, like he didn't care, but his fans care. Holy Christ, they're all fucking attacking this kid.
I know.
Dude, just be happy for him. That's a cool story to fucking.
Once the refs say it's a pin, it's a pin. Doesn't matter.
Dude,
it doesn't even matter if you fouled.
Logan's local to me, so he doesn't give a shit. He's like, dude, I know I can't beat Devin Larry. He's like, I got fucking. He's like, what a great story, though.
Hey, man, good on him, honestly.
Well, that's what I said. I said, good for him. Yeah. That's something he can say, like he can say, yeah, I surprised Devin. He took me for granted. I was able to get.
Yeah.
You know how many times Travis Bagent has come off the pad this far and still got the pin?
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, he just did a professional move right there. Is what I call
it. And
it
it happened so fast. Like, even the refs were like,
that's why it's professional.
I didn't even fucking see it. And then they go watch it back and they're like, oh, it was an elbow foul,
Yeah.
Well, it said pin, so
yeah.
But Devin was like, "Oh, you got me,"
Yeah, he did.
He almost got him. The righty one, he almost got him, and that's the one where Devin was like, "Oh, you almost got me, you little fucker."
Yeah.
And then Devin was like, "I'm not letting that happen again."
Yeah.
But the left is where he got him later.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's got some speed, man.
That kid's fast. He's level 2. He's only been arm wrestling like 2 years. He's like a new arm wrestler.
There's naturals out there too, right? Those quick twitch, fast twitch fighters, and they just go, right?
Zoomy Twitch.
I mean, he's been he has a match coming up with Wayne Withers.
Really? He's
Logan,
going
yeah.
Withers after 2 years.
Yeah, like yeah.
Look, he's gonna have to flash Wayne, but Wayne.
That's what I said.
That's gonna be a tough match because Wayne's
Yeah.
he's gonna be so hand dominant.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? You never know. He
It's a
might
bit
get
of a weird matchup, honestly.
a weird matchup.
It was really weird when it came out, and he's like, "Well, fuck it, I'll do it." You
Yeah,
know?
why not?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Hey, man, if he said fuck it, I'll do it. Good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
You're never going to
say
get better
no.
at pulling people that are less than you. So
Yeah, and God forbid you sneak one in on Wayne. Like, oh, dude, that's gonna go viral, you know.
And he's gonna know. Yeah, but man, he's also cheating the system because he's feeling what an entry level elite guy is because he's kind of Wayne Withers, kind of like a gatekeeper, right?
Yeah.
If he feels Wayne and he gets like at least even if he doesn't win,
get the bite or something. Even if he gets a nice hold in there.
Yeah, and he knows, but he also knows where the level, like where he'll know when he's ready again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if he knows it's 10% or if it's 20 or 30, if it's oh my god.
No, it's like if I didn't have
Right.
Caleb and Sean and all these guys to pull with in our club, would I have gotten as strong and as good as I am now? I don't think so. Because I wouldn't know, like I wouldn't know what I'm aiming for. I don't know what I'm climbing to get. Like, you know what I mean? So I would
I never would have guessed what's his name? Mega Mike would have flashed Wayne like that. I thought it was gonna be a battle.
Yeah, but it's style.
And I was like, oh shit, that was impressive.
Brutal. Yeah.
That was actually really impressive. For a second, I was like, what? Like, oh,
He's
yeah.
so
That really just happened?
Mega
And
Mike's
I'm like,
so strong.
oh, Wayne will
Crazy.
adjust. And then it happened again. And I'm like, damn, he's just that strong.
He's too strong in his lane. And Wayne couldn't get to his lane. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know. I remember that match. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. That was crazy.
Hey, good on him, you know, and I'm sure.
But Mega Mike will
guys
lose the guys.
Get hate when they win, and it's like, geez, man.
Yeah, but you know what's weird is Mega Mike will lose the guys that Wayne beats easily too, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's weird that shit.
Yeah. That's what I love about arm wrestling. You just never know.
You don't.
You know?
Yeah. I've beaten
there's matches where I'm like 100% sure I think I know who's gonna win, and I'm wrong, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, I know. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like I stopped thinking, oh, I did that in my last loss. I seen the guy's style and I'm like, oh, if he does that against me, I'm just gonna crush this kid, right? And I'm like, fuck him. And I went in there and he tired me out, he beat me, and you know what? He trained for me and changed everything. And I just looked at what I seen and said,
I got this.
I got this. Yeah. Right. And I did. I ripped him to the pad the first round.
Yeah.
The second round, I got him within a half an inch and he fucking stopped me. And then it just turned into a long ass fucking match. And then it was like
drawn out. Yeah.
And then I got tired because I'm big and I get tired, right? So, yeah. But now I want to go again because now I know what he's about. Right?
Yeah. Right. Now you adjust.
And your inside game's better now too.
Way better. My inside game is way better. That's all.
Because at the end, the last round of that match, you were too blown out on the outside. You had to try inside.
Yeah, and
it didn't really work.
At the end, he just because I didn't know how to initiate it, but I've been practicing that, Yeah. Like if I would have initiated and got the hook, I think I would have been fine. But I didn't know how to fucking do it. So here I am. I just got fucking pretty much flashed because I didn't know how to really do it. Yeah. So now
I remember you were like, I can't top roll. You're like, I can't. My fucking.
I had nothing. Yeah, I had nothing. It was so blown up because I got a real.
I was like, whatever you got left, double down on.
Yeah. Because you seen me fatiguing, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, no.
Well, dude, he got in like a bone lock, and you were all muscle in an active drive the whole time. So you're gonna burn out way quicker.
Yeah, I was my pride. My pride got me. I should have just done what I.
It gets all of us, man. No one wants to give up.
Yeah, because most of the time, if I get somebody right near the pad, I just come in and boom, like instantly. I don't even think about it.
Give up your wrist a bit if you have to get the pin.
Yeah. But this kid, I was like, fuck him. And I was like, I just kept it every time. You get a little more, and it started to just slowly work its way up. And it was like, fuck.
Yeah, he came back.
So slow. It was like the longest fucking. It was like a pin in slow motion. It was like 30 seconds pin.
I always find like I forget my whole game plan when I get up there anyway. Like you're thinking about the fucking crowd, everyone looking at you, and this guy and this, and I just end up like doing not what I fucking planned on.
I know what you mean. All of a sudden, it's like, fuck, I had a plan. What happened?
Yeah. Like what happened? Yeah.
yeah. Because I actually thought you might beat Paul when you pulled him. I was like, you might.
After pulling him, I thought,
yeah.
Because once you feel him, like here's what fucked me up is everyone kept telling me he's going to be way stronger than you. Do not go to the fucking straps.
Yeah.
But then when I went to the straps, that's when I fucking actually got him on his side. I was like, fuck. Yeah. I should have done that every round. But really, it was my inexperience. I kept elbow fouling.
Yeah.
So that's really what kept fucking me up.
Yeah.
So
I think you know what? That match happened a different day, different time.
Yeah, because even Bob Brown was like, don't go to the straps with him. And I was like, that got in my head.
Well, he was just thinking, he was picturing these fucking eyeballs that are going to come out of his head. He's going to go, you're going to go for a ride. And,
yeah.
Shit. It's like,
but then once I got in the straps, I was like, oh, dude, I got everything in this fucking strap. And I just kind of like flared my elbow out and had him here. And I was like, I was just holding him. And I'm like, oh, dude, why didn't I do this every fucking time? Damn it.
I know. Well, sometimes it's like,
and we agreed to 3 fouls.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they only did 2, and I didn't even notice because I was so into the fucking match. And then after, I was like, man, if we would have done 3 fouls, I think I would have been all right. Yeah, it happens.
That's well, it's in the past.
I definitely didn't feel like he was way stronger than me. Like everybody kept telling me he was gonna like crush me with his strength. They're like, don't go in a hook with him. I felt way better in a hook with him than I did trying to go. I changed everything I did to not go in a hook with him, and I'm like, I got to learn to top roll.
Yeah. They don't want to. Yeah, that's not. It's like me top rolling, going, I got a hook.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing.
That's why you got to know how to do everything.
Yeah. Well, like some guys just are so good in their one move that like they're better than everyone else in that move, and if they hit first, they got it. But to me, I'm like, dude, no, you got to have a little bit of everything. You need a backup plan because if someone, there's some guys that can keep me from top rolling easy. And I'm like, thank God I can hook sometimes because otherwise I would just sit there fucking trying to top roll them and have nothing,
Yeah.
So it's good to be kind of, you need that backup plan for when someone can shut you down.
Yeah, you can think about it kind of like sometimes you go to battle, it's a quick little battle with someone, but sometimes you go to war and your sword breaks.
Right. Yeah. And you're like, fuck.
You only have a sword, what if you only have a top roll and the guy takes your pronator?
Yeah.
Boom. You know what I mean? That's why they say you're on your shield. That's literally what they mean is this is your sword, you've lost it, you're on your shield.
Yeah.
If you don't have a way back or something to fight from your shield, you're done.
Agree. Like those guys that only have one fucking move, if someone figures out how to stop that guy always loses. Yeah. He's only got the one trick pony, I guess they call it.
And usually they lose faster each consecutive round after the move they're found out. It falls down like dominoes.
It's beyond me too. Like you see these guys continue to try the same thing over and over and keep getting shut down. And I'm like, they didn't even try something new,
Yeah,
I tried something new and it ended even worse for me when I had a match where I was losing real bad. I was like, I'll try something totally opposite.
Yeah.
I injured myself.
Oh yeah.
That's why like me top rolling, I was like, I should have just fucking hooked every time. I just slammed into a hook.
Sometimes you got to go with.
I let everybody get in my head like, no, look at his arms. You don't want to get in a hook with him.
I was watching.
Don't go by arms, man. I mean, I can hook pretty good, and I have tiny arms.
It doesn't mean shit. Arms don't mean shit.
Dude, when I first started, I'm like, I'm gonna walk through these little light guys. And I went to practice, and they purposely put me with like the tiniest guy who just destroyed me, and I'm like, that's what hooked me because I'm like, okay, show me how you do that,
Okay. Yeah,
just like
if I can learn that trick that you're doing, imagine how good I'll be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I envisioned it, and then I realized I was wrong. But
at first, you feel like, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm not bad, but I'm not, I'm not great.
Well, I noticed Corey Miller, so I've watched his last 3 matches, like big matches. and it's always the same thing. So listen to this. This is a class. Corey's world class. I'm not bashing Corey, but I'm bashing Corey. So he'll fucking crush for 2 rounds. Like just look so dominant. And then Buddy figures him out. And then it goes right the other way. And every single
like the Arm Gods one.
Yeah, remember
like
that
was
one?
Ahead, fucking what, 3
I was
rounds?
in the chat. Yeah, I was in the chat.
Oh,
Everyone's like,
2
see,
rounds?
I'm like, no, but Corey's famous for burning out and fucking getting tired. And then sure enough, he lost.
That was crazy.
7-3. Yeah.
That was like a crazy.
And he had that in the
comeback.
bag too, because that like I think it was round 2. He flashed him.
Yeah.
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 So I was like, oh yeah, Corey's got this now.
Got this. Yeah.
It was.
I think I was saying that to you, Brian, and you're like, well,
Remember I was saying, well, Corey's.
you were,
fucking
you
tired.
did, you,
Yeah,
you
he's
did, you
tired,
did.
he's-
You're
So,
like,
are you
I
guys
remember
good with are you guys friends with Alan Ford?
No, I know. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah.
Dude,
He's
did you hear the whole story about him breaking his foot and all
Yeah,
that?
I heard something. I just yesterday did I hear it? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he kicked a trash can and broke his foot like crazy. It was crazy.
damn.
So I didn't even know this. So Arm Gods had me do commentary with Alan.
Yeah.
Now, Alan's been arm wrestling like fucking 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's all technical, you know?
Oh yeah.
So he'd be saying like all this technical stuff, and I'd be like, well, Alan, I disagree. He'd be like, you don't even fucking really arm wrestle. He was getting so mad at me, dude. I just kept disagreeing with him on it.
Oh, I love it. Him, you
Yeah,
finally
he's
realized you
funny.
were trolling.
Yeah.
It's like this.
And he kept walking away from the booth to see better.
Yeah.
So he couldn't hear me. So
Oh.
he'd be over there
He's not
talking. I'd be like,
yeah.
this fucking guy has no idea what he's talking about, dude. He was getting he didn't realize it till watching it back, and he's like, you fucker.
That's awesome, dude.
He's a funny dude too, man. He's a character.
It was
But you
weird.
know-
Like him and Marcus did not they had a little bit of a falling out there, and he kicked the fucking thing and broke his foot. And then Matthias was like, dude, he's my ride home. Like, he wants to leave right now, and I'm supposed to do the live feed tomorrow. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Shit. Yeah.
It was a big mess, but
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I've been
There's
following
always some
him
drama.
for years and years. I even watch his little videos he puts up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on what was he on? He was on that show too. I had to go check it out to see if he was actually on it. What was that, Wipeout? Or
Oh, really?
yeah, he was on
Oh no, I thought it was America. No, it's like Ninja Warrior or something, wasn't it?
No, it was like white. It was
It was a wipeout. Okay, it
It
was
was
something.
Wipeout.
Yeah, I
Oh, the
heard
one
that.
where like you run through the obstacle and they try to
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. Wait a second.
was
You
he
got to like
really?
the
Dude, that's-
finals.
I
You got
gotta
to the
find
very
that
end.
now.
Yeah,
Didn't
he
he get
did.
to like the very end?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, or something. He got.
I
to
wish
something.
I would have known that, because when he kicked the trash can, I would have been like, wipe out.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It was some show anyway. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
I
it was
swear
that.
that was what it was. That's when we had to jump on the balls and shit.
Yeah,
all the red
yeah,
balls.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have crushed that as a kid, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
dude.
even now, maybe.
Now I'd be one of the balls.
I'd be doing a front flip over top of you.
Yeah, over the top of me. Yeah.
Yeah, for
That'd
sure.
be funny.
Yeah.
Swinging
he's
from
a
people's
fun
arms.
wrestler.
They just lay down and put their arm at the
Oh,
top.
man.
That's like the monkey bar you got to swing off.
Yeah.
What a
Alan's
missed
a-
opportunity. I wish I had known that before.
Yeah. He's a good
Every
Yeah.
time he talked, I would have been like, wipe out.
Yeah, he beat Joe Fox like he wasn't there, man.
Yeah. I mean, I hear he's a real good arm wrestler. I didn't get to pull him or anything, but
He is good. He's really good. He just beat
Yeah.
Jason Constantini at provincials. Like
Wow.
just flashing him.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because, like, you know, he had to walk away. So, you know, leaving me on a mic of something is just bad. So I started talking about semen retention because so James Wall said that he did like 12 days of semen retention. So as I'm talking about it, RVJ walks by and I said, hey, RVJ, you know, James Wall's doing semen retention for 12 days. Have you ever tried to do something like that? And he goes, you know, RVJ's like, buddy, I came 3 times on the way down here. And I was like, oh, dude. Got it all on the fucking commentary. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, dude.
I love. You know what? I love RVJ, man. I've been beating him
He's
up.
funny.
I've been beating him up for a while because I just,
Monk mode.
yeah, I want him
Dude,
to.
he was funny.
I just love for him to take arm wrestling serious and like,
That's what kind of bummed me out, because I'm like, dude, you're here on Team USA.
yeah,
you clearly didn't train for this. You're saying you came off the couch, and then you kind of let your team down. You know what I mean? I didn't want to say that to him, and I'm like, dude,
you just take an L after L after L right now.
yeah.
Every match.
Kind of completely let your
It's
team down.
unfortunate because he's so like genetically gifted.
He got to
Like,
pull
dude.
Nugo. He pulled Nugo before Matt got beat by him. He pulled Sandris. He's pulling all these names, and it's L like across the board. You
He's
know,
pulling good guys, though. I mean,
oh yeah, but I don't think that's helping him. You know?
Yeah.
sometimes you shoot a little too high.
Yeah. Or start training. If you're gonna pull Sandris, train for 6 months solid in the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and,
Dude, and those UK, this really pissed me off. So the UK guys were all super nice. I mean, we had them sorted out in 2 days because I don't know how, nobody really knows this. Not one of those guys asked to be paid. They just were happy to do it for flight and hotel. And Marcus was like, I'll cover your food and stuff and your drinks for the weekend. And they all agreed to that. The Americans it took us 3 months to fucking lock these fuckers down. They were like, oh, $500? No, I want 1,000. And I'm like, well, I could go back and say that to them, but they might just tell you to fuck off and find someone else to do it.
yeah.
You know, it was like, or they're like, oh, you know, I'm driving, so I don't need a flight. So will they add the money of the flight to my fucking? I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is a nightmare.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
You can't. You just got.
I was like, you guys are embarrassing our country. Like, calm down.
No, it's true. So they do. There's some. It gets stupid. You know.
Yeah.
There was a guy here that, like I said, I'm sad he left the M spot because me and Zach, you know, for me and Zach competing in his event, the My Bloody Valentine,
Yeah.
he paid for it. We didn't even know. He ended up paying for our hotel for 2 nights.
Yeah.
We got a full sponsorship deal for Through the Fingers. He made us a fucking commercial.
That's awesome.
He went out of his way, provided food. Yeah, you know, like he went out.
I've always had good relations with
Oh yeah. Oh no.
everyone associated with the Red
Yeah.
Light Studios.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's just, you know, that was an example though of a bad thing, you know, somebody that's really good for our sport being pushed out of our sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's when I heard that, I was like, no way, dude. He just, you know, he just sponsored Winter Blast for the women. You know, he's always been really good to us because we, you know, like I said, we had him on the podcast to like defend himself against these other wahoos.
Josh Wilson and them, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, see, that was fucked too. So then you got those guys from New York and stuff. Now all of a sudden they're teaming up with Josh Wilson, and then poor Gelder's getting tag teamed by these guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I was like, well,
I couldn't believe that, dude.
I was getting pissed. I was
like, that was annoying.
Yeah, I almost jumped in and got political, but I didn't. I stayed out of it, right?
I mean, I'm not going to get into too much details because it wasn't really public, but
yeah,
it ran into the same kind of stuff trying to do the stuff down in Virginia.
Exactly.
Just didn't work out, and they're like,
"Was that?
Yeah, we're not doing this, dude."
Yeah, is that Gelder's fault? No, it's not. It's got to be a trend there, right? So
yeah,
you know, it's yeah, you know, but yeah, I'm hoping that he comes back. Like I said, I get. You know,
there's too many greedy people, and the sport's too small to be greedy at this point. I mean, you should never be greedy,
that's
but it's just, there's not enough. There's not enough.
You can't be in it for just profit either.
No.
Because if you are, you're.
It's a labor of love right now. It's not a labor of profit.
And some of these guys are trying to make it their full-time job, and I'm like, dude,
yeah,
it's not going to be your full-time job. Like,
well, no, that's just like that beast mode shit. A guy that I heard he's unemployed, hurting for money. You don't hold a fucking tournament when you're counting on it to pay your rent.
No, and you come out of pocket and find a way to get there, you know, and then you get screwed over. That's fucking terrible.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And it wasn't only that. There was other situations that same, but a few months before him and Tim had a thing.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I had them on the show, and I'm like,
yeah, they had a beef.
Dude, I'm like, hey, let's go over how many entries you had and let's do the math. It didn't even add up. Like, I was being a dick. I was like, okay, you're 19 entries short. Where's that money? You know,
I know. And then he goes, well, I kept 1,000 for myself, or he did said something.
Dude, I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Fucking A, dude. I mean? Yeah, I kept the door fees for ourselves for beast mode, and I'm like, but you owe all these people money, dude. What are you doing? Like,
I know.
And then he's like, I went on vacation, but then I put the money back. I swear. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, why
Yeah,
are you
there's
touching that money, dude?
there's other people that did some shady shit too, and
Oh, look at like
like
Travis, dude.
taking a bunch of money and building up a fuck your house and your this and that, and then fucking
Yeah,
people over afterwards. I'm not saying names on that one,
yeah.
but like there's guys there's some shady shit. If it went public, it would ruin them. So
Oh yeah, dude.
yeah,
Like
and that
even
we
like
don't
just
even know about it.
Travis, even just Travis. Like one time he threw a tournament and did online registration,
Yeah,
and then canceled the tournament. Didn't refund one fucking person, and I'm like,
that super
how do
match that was
yeah,
supposed
and
to
then
happen
people
between him
still
and
go to
Mike
his
Scott.
events after, and I'm like,
Yeah,
never, no, dude,
yeah,
fool
I
me
know.
once, you know.
But he did get ripped off too, right? A guy named Jeff Frank here in Alberta apparently fucking
Screwed him over.
yeah, screwed over
Oh,
big
dude,
time.
that's
Yeah,
the best when like scammers scam each other. It's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
who's
Oh
gonna win
yeah,
this?
but I think Justin Bishop, a whole bunch of guys got screwed by him, right?
Oh, that sucks.
And one
Yeah.
of our close friends got taken for like 25 grand. So
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
so
rough.
yeah, so it was like that guy really he knew what he was doing. If he was at least scamming big time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But shit.
Yeah, there was a guy here that got a ton of sponsors for an event and then never even threw the event.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had
yeah.
like fucking $10,000 worth of sponsors and just disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like, gee,
but it's like it's like that dealer on the
That's crazy.
you know, it's
I
that
know.
dealer on the corner that's got the got this stuff and he charges so much and he's
Yeah,
not thinking about I'm not talking about drugs, I'm just talking about anything,
yeah,
right? But he charges so much, he just cares about how much he makes that weekend, but he's not thinking about how much he could make the next 10 years off those same people. Like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
It's
that's
like
how I look at it. Like, I would rather make no money now and sacrifice what we're doing now for something bigger in the future where we can all like make it really successful, you know?
yeah, yeah. And that's
I'm
what
not like in a rush or anything. I'm just enjoying it as we go, you know?
yeah. Well, that's how we're looking at it with Through the Fingers, right? Like
Yeah.
we're not going anywhere. We love this shit. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we've been like,
Dude, we're on every single Friday night
yeah,
for
yeah,
fucking
I know. I
hours.
watch. I
And we
tune in.
talk about nothing.
No,
Huh?
sometimes nothing at all.
Sometimes nothing. Yeah.
But I'll leave and then come back, and then sometimes you'll have two different people on the show, and then you
Yeah.
know what I mean. It's kind of
And
cool.
we've had people get naked,
Oh, you've had some crazy shit.
taints on the fucking show. And yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
Jesus. The one
yeah,
dude was like talking and he had like a mental breakdown and he
Oh
just all of
God.
a sudden backed up on his phone and he's fully naked. And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh my
What are you
fucking God,
doing?
what do I do? You know, I
Oh,
was like,
you,
I
yeah, but you
blocked him.
said Ryan puts the invite in the chat and just
Yeah.
allows anyone to join the pod.
Yeah. We started it out that it was a Zoom
Yeah,
and we didn't go live. We just invited people from all over the country to come just talk all night.
yeah,
And then I was like, why don't we go live? Because some of this shit's hilarious.
yeah, yeah.
And we started, I don't even think of it as a podcast because we just go live and just let anybody come on every
You just
Friday.
hang out. You just hang out.
Just hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We do the same thing, but we do Tuesday nights and then any night we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights, we're always on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. It'd be
Yeah.
8 your time, right?
Yeah.
And then if we can do them every night, we will. But like I've hopped on and then I've seen yours on. Like me and Jody, we did one about a month ago. It was on
Yeah.
Friday because Jody, that's the only day he had off. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, but the 98's on." I'm like, well, they go for 6 hours.
Yeah, no one
Like-
gives a shit about it.
I'm like, listen, when we're done, we'll send everyone over to the 98.
Yeah,
So
dude, we
that's
don't
what
care
we
about shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Some
So
people get really mad if you throw your podcast on top of it. Because we've gone on Wednesday nights and I forget who does Wednesday nights, but someone was like, how dare you? And I'm like, dude, we get 6 people watching. Who gives a shit? You know? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, but you know what? What about this? What if this other podcast that we were helping promote and everything? He
yeah.
would do his podcast Monday night at 6, and we'd do ours Tuesday night at 6. Well,
Yeah.
all of a sudden he just switched it to Tuesdays at 6, at the same time as us.
Wow.
And I'm like, why would you do that? And then I'm looking,
Yeah.
we got 20 people in the chat. He's got 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah. So
Right?
you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you make it this like? Okay, I
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
dumb.
And then what he did was he would schedule it for 7:30, so that way, hopefully, everyone that was on our pod will
We go to his. Yeah.
yeah. So then I'd
That's
always
crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he did it. And then that was the what are they called? Collab and whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
That one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he did it. It was like, I'm like,
That's
why?
weird.
Why don't you just talk to us, man? Like,
Yeah.
I'm promoting your podcast, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
weird shit. I just see it.
Oh,
I tell
you know,
Zach, I'd be like, does this make sense? And Zach would be like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, I don't
you
know, man.
switched this to Tuesday and then you switched to Monday.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I know, I know.
Yeah,
Listen, it
that's
is fun
funny, dude.
coming on. You know what? Most of the people just join us and they like to chat and
Yeah.
try to keep up on the chat. Like I'm not as good at it. Zach's better at keeping up with the chat than I am.
Yeah. I mean, half the time, it's arm wrestling, the other half it's not, but
Yeah,
it's still like all of us getting to know each other and, hanging out.
yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell you this 98 thing, we're going to take a day or two just to talk it over again and stuff. And then after talking to you before the pod,
Yeah.
that's kind of reassuring in a way. Like
Yeah.
the attitude of it.
Like I
So,
said, dude, we're so laid back with it.
yeah.
Like if there's something you're like, I don't know about this, we can fucking change that. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I was just like, I'm not
Yeah.
good. I'm not used to looking at contracts and shit either, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So I'll
okay.
tell you that like our main goal for us over here
Mhm.
is we're working on trying to get an event space
Yeah.
so that we can throw tournaments in there and make it like, part gym, stuff like that. But what we want to do is rent it out when we're not using it
Mhm.
and control the food and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I think that would bring in a lot of money to the sport, but from outside the sport.
Yeah, I know you're
There's
saying.
not enough money in this sport to like get it from
Yeah.
our
Exactly.
pullers and take advantage, So I'm thinking like, you rent it out for like parties, events, this and that. And all those people are buying food and alcohol. And if you control that part, now you have money to throw into the sport. And then with this 98 franchise thing, I'm like, dude, if we get one going real good, we would have the funds to open one up at every franchise location so that we're all doing the same
I know what you
thing.
mean. All of a sudden,
And then you would become an event coordinator, like.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, and then the franchise even gets bigger, right? 'Cause now,
Yeah.
like we have actual facilities we're franchised.
Yeah. And like local clubs can go there to fucking practice, work out,
Yeah.
becomes like a little gym, and then you have the event space. We
Imagine a
had
bar,
that idea, and then
imagine like a restaurant bar that you can just go hang out at and like casually arm wrestle.
that's exactly what
That'd be
we're
kinda
trying to
cool.
do. And we've got a bunch of people like really interested in like helping us get to that point. So
Well, we
maybe
were there.
this franchise thing will help that and we can kick it off and then we all get a location like
That
that.
idea works. We had before I split with Armfinity, we picked up a major sponsor. The Real Canadian Brew House, or the Real, I don't know, it's called the Brew House anyway. It's huge franchise here in Canada. And they ended up sponsoring Armfinity. Now I ended up leaving in that, so they're not my sponsor now. But I helped negotiate that sponsorship, and I'm telling you, that's where that's the big spot, the big restaurant, like nightclub bar chains. They're probably the biggest sponsors you can get.
Dude,
Like,
there's guys here that just rent an empty warehouse and rent a DJ for the night.
Yeah, yeah.
And they fucking make a killing off one fucking night. And I'm like, man,
that works, but it'd be hard here because of you'd have to, because of the liquor licensing and everything.
Yeah.
Not that easy.
Well, so
And the
I found
laws.
we have the same laws. I found a loophole. So when we threw our first tournament, it was during COVID, and Philadelphia would not let you have a gathering.
No, I remember.
So we called it the protest series, and we threw it at a police motorcycle club. And so the township shows up to shut it down, and they're like, "This is a protest. We can't shut this down." So we found that loophole.
Yeah.
Well, I started talking to the owner of the bike club, and he's like, "Dude, we can serve liquor to everyone here because it's a private club. So if you have a private club and you throw an event, you can serve liquor." So the liquor license for a private club is like very minimal because it's more like a catering license.
Okay.
So I'm like, dude, that's what we do. We open up a private club.
Yeah.
Make it like a 98 private club where, you have to be a member.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we can throw events and serve food and liquor at those events.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's the loophole without having to get like $1 million liquor license or You know?
You know, I bet you there's loopholes here too.
Yeah.
There is any money. Yeah. And I know
So
there is
that's
some
our plan to
difference.
kind of go down that road. But
I don't know. It's you
Yeah.
know, but you gotta be
every time we
resourceful.
talk publicly about an idea, someone steals it.
Oh,
Well,
see,
you shit the bed there, man.
Yeah, totally.
listen,
Well,
I'm
Knuckles
self-employed.
Up already tried to open one up. Their Knuckles Up headquarters.
I heard that they got a
It was
gym there.
kind of our idea that they jumped to first, but
Yeah.
I forgive them. It's okay.
Yeah.
Ours
Yeah.
will be bigger, better.
Yeah, I do. Jack Corbin says same in Canada. He's pretty sure with loopholes.
Oh, nice.
For clubs. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're working towards. And we're, looking for spots that would work, kind of trying to keep it near an airport. So it's kind of like, easy to travel to, stuff like that.
Mhm.
We'll see if it works and we can make it work here. Then we can start copying that at every single franchise and we'll have them all over the country.
Yeah. Well,
Totally.
Okay, it got that big. I mean, as franchisee or
Franchisees. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, would we have some voice within the 98% though?
Yeah, like
as far as the
want to have
contract
like
goes, we
monthly
don't have
meetings.
any. Yeah.
I want to have like monthly meetings where we're all
Yeah.
like brainstorming and how can we make this better? And
yeah, because I remember when you were going to do the promoter group thing. And
yeah,
I was pretty
that started out great, and then so I'll tell you why that kind of. So Sean Hancock started a group called AUA.
Yeah.
American Unified Arm Wrestling. And he's trying to turn that into like the new federation for America to have like a unified, like national event at the end of the year, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of to compete with like IFA, just because, they fight each other. And he's like, you can't pick a side without losing half your friends. So he's like, let's just make a neutral one.
Yeah.
So I'm on the board of that. And there's like 5 of us. It's Bill Collins, me, Mikey Oliva from Florida, Sarah's husband, Billy Ortegas from TAL, and Sean. So it's basically almost just like the thing I was trying to start with that. So I'm like, well, I'll just put my focus in this instead and see how it goes, because the goal of it is going to be like, so say you have a promotion and you're saying you're certified by AUA. That means your promotion meets all the qualifications that it takes to be AUA certified, like, certified refs, like, so they're trying to do it so that it's almost like a certification that says you throw quality events. If you have their logo on your flyer, it means you throw quality events, basically. So, they're working on that, in the background. I'm on that board, but when you have 5 guys in there that all have like something going on, like none of them agree. And I just sit back and kind of laugh about it. Like,
that sucks. Yeah. Well, that sucks. But I mean, ultimately, promoters, I find that a lot of promoters, they are kind of, they're prideful. I wouldn't say all promoters are narcissistic, but a lot of them are very prideful.
A lot are, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Like, so it ends up being that they don't like sharing, and they don't, and they feel like even open conversation can be, they look at it as like bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they say too much in this meeting, then your promotion might, I don't know. It's like it's jealousy, but they won't admit it's jealousy.
Yeah.
But I've tried to communicate with other promoters and work with them. It always
it's hard
being the same thing. Yeah. And me, I just want to grow the sport. Like,
like I got a lot of shit so I opened up a 98 group for every state, like 98, every single state, which is a lot of groups. And but the reason I did it is this. So say you're throwing a tournament in New Hampshire. Those guys in the past are posting their flyers in like, arm wrestling discussion and this and that. You don't know who's seeing those flyers. But if you put it in 98 New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Vermont, and Maine, now people that are most likely to go to that tournament can lay eyes on it and see it if they're in the group. So I was like, why don't we do that for every state, and every single promoter
Yep.
can use it as a tool?
Tool, yeah.
And a lot are, but there's some that are like, I'm not using that because it's 98. And I'm like, well, you're lost, dude, because
Yeah.
we've had a ton of success using that.
And you're
And
just trying to help
so have a
them
lot of
anyway.
our friends using it.
Yeah, but you're also you're helping promote their event. If they put their event up there, then there's eyes that will see it that might never have seen it or thought about
Right.
going to the event.
Like you're
Mutually
targeting-
beneficial.
Yeah.
And you're targeting the demographic of people that will go to your event. Like, you know, someone in California is not going to my little event here, but someone from New Jersey might, you know? So
Totally.
you're targeting the whole area. And, you know, also like the franchisees, we're making them admins of the groups in their area. Like, oh, you're North Carolina here. You're the admin of the North Carolina 98 group. Because I don't know all the pullers in North Carolina, but they do. So they can add them to the group. And then, you know, it's increasing. You know, there are some states that are just dead, not much activity, but a lot of them, you know, some of them are starting to get like 400, 500, 600 people in them. I'm like, oh, this is working out good. So, you know, most people are starting to use it as a tool. And like I said, East versus West reached out and said, would you guys share our flyer like on all your state groups? And, you know, and I said, I'll do it this once, but if you guys continue to ban people, we're done.
Well, you know what? There's going to
I
be.
want Engen's apology letter first.
Yeah, we'll see. Engen only owns like what 10% now or something.
Yeah, and it was like Bob Brown and Baxter and them that were like,
well, Baxter, he's the finance. He was the finance behind a lot of it, but Bob Brown is his go-to now, right? So
yeah.
See, that's what's kind of screwy too, because I wanted to continue holding the East versus West qualifiers.
Yeah, and now they're not like really doing it
because Bob Brown was going to take over it. So James Reed and Paul Lynn, the guys I used to deal with, they got pushed to the side, so they're not in charge of them now. So yeah. So and I had a good relationship with Paul and James, right? So
yeah,
it was tough.
And then some of those guys like now they're using different people. They're not even using them anymore.
I know. Yeah. It's just weird how things change so quickly in the sport.
Yeah.
You know, alliances change, everything changes. You know, it's really weird.
Well, I mean, if you're doing, I mean, look at the first East versus West qualifier. Like, you had to qualify to get to it.
That one was a kick in the nuts because you had to qualify.
And then all of a sudden they just let everybody in anyway. I was like,
they just dude. So you did.
And like you can only pull one arm, and then a bunch of people pulled two arms.
Yeah,
multiple weight classes.
Dude, that just drove me crazy because I'm like, some of those guys drove 8 hours to qualify so they could get a chance to come to this, thinking, you know, okay, my weight class is going to be pretty limited to just qualifiers.
Yeah.
And then you add 6 more people to that fucking thing. I'm like, man, I don't know. I thought that was really like it felt like a money grab to me.
Who was running the first qualifier, right?
I don't want to.
I know. I'm just saying, but you know, and it's like, okay, did you make money? Did you make money? All I can say is
that's why they opened it, because people were showing up trying to get in, and they're like, we're missing out on all these entries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, but you're killing the integrity of this whole thing.
They changed it up the second time, but it was still like.
And then in the Northeast, like every small tournament was a qualifier. I'm like, dude, now you just killed the prestige of it.
Yeah.
Because people are seeing East versus West on every fly.
It's pointless to have a qualifier if you don't have to qualify. That's the whole point of
it changed the next year because they put a fee involved. So you actually had to pay. You had to pay a fee. Like when I ran it, I had to pay a fee to East versus West. Well, actually, our fees is what paid for the final in Florida, right?
Yeah. And then the Florida one, that was a mess too. Remember they told Sarah Collins she couldn't pull 2 classes, but they let Artem.
Then she stole Leia's prize money.
Yeah.
No,
she said someone came up to her and handed it to her, and then she reached out to her and she's like, I'll send you the money right now. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I know.
It was a whole misunderstanding thing.
I know. All it came back to is that Sarah took Leia's money.
Yeah. And the funniest part was like Engen's saying, like, bashing Sarah in the same thread that Paul Lynn saying it's not her fault.
Yeah.
We told her she could pull those classes, and then we changed it. You know, they're saying Engen called and was like, no, she can't pull that. Yeah, I'm like, come on. That whole thing was a mess too.
Yeah.
That was a mess.
Yeah, we had some.
All right, guys, I got to head out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it here in a minute for sure. Okay, brother.
Yeah, I gotta head.
Nice talking to you, man.
Good
Okay,
talking to you
bro.
guys, man. Have a
Yeah.
great
We'll
night,
talk.
everybody.
We'll
Catch
talk
you later.
more. Okay, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. Peace out.
Peace.
My phone can't even turn off.
I know. I can never leave the pod. I'm like, see you guys 5 times. See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
Dude, there's
Oh,
times where I thought I left and it kept running for like
yeah,
8 hours.
right. Yeah, I know. I know. It's like, what the fuck?
A lot of dead air.
Yeah, I know. I know. But no, that shit at that qualifier, yeah. But we did. I was happy because we had. I think we had the only successful Canadian qualifier the second year.
Well, I bet.
Yeah, we did, and we ended up getting some fun. Like some people won there too. Like Ali
awesome.
Hamadia beat. He ended up beating Artem
Yeah.
Taranenko. Victor got second, I think, on both arms. Dustin Houghton got second on both arms. That beast, what's his name? Dilly Wallace or Wallace Dilly?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Well,
beast.
some guys won though and never got the opportunity.
Never got an
They were
opportunity.
promised.
I know,
So,
I know. And Leia won everything. I
like
think
Paul
Leia won
Passmore is
everything.
one of them.
Yeah,
He crushed
yeah.
it and never
He crushed
got a
it.
fucking call, an opportunity, nothing.
He ended up getting. He's had one match now, right? At East versus West, didn't he have one?
I don't know if he
Yeah,
did
King
after
of the
that.
Table. Yeah, he ended up having one match.
Yeah.
Yeah. One. It was one of the ones in the States. He ended up pulling a Swedish guy from Sweden or something.
But they like passed him up for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was
Paul's a
like,
beast on
I
the
mean, he
table,
won,
man.
dude. Yeah.
No, he's a
Dude,
beast.
he lost his super match at Winter Blast the night before and then jumped in the tournament the next day and beat everyone, including the guy that he lost to.
Yeah, of
Just
course.
crushed everybody. I was like, oh my God.
Everybody, because he's a freak.
Semen
He's
retention.
chiseled at a stone, that guy. I'm telling you.
He definitely is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I wouldn't want to piss him off. Like he used to be like a top
MMA
level
guy.
MMA guy. Yeah.
No, I know. I wouldn't
He's
fuck
scary.
with him. Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with him. Yeah.
No.
No, I mean he's a nice guy too. Like I message him, he always replies.
Yeah.
You know what I hate is these fucking guys that they're too good to reply to my message.
Oh yeah, dude.
I fucking
Like
hate
they
it.
read it and they don't fucking
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know. I'm like, really? And I'm like, so now there's a couple like Jerry Cataret, all these guys, because I had made it a mission. I wanted to interview all my favorite arm wrestlers. So I would message guys, right? And like Jerry, he answered me right away.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in the world. He had just lost his father that week or whatever, couldn't come on.
Yeah.
But he was like a week later, yeah, cool, I got time now. Fucking came on the pod.
That's awesome.
Podzilla. He actually didn't have time for me, but then he had to come here. He was coming here for a seminar. So I'm like, wow, you got to come on the pod. He goes, okay, I guess I do. And so then he came on the pod, you know. And then Paul Lynn, the first time I talked to him.
He'll always go on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nicest dudes, man. Cody Merritt. Like,
Paul Lynn's one of the guys where we told him the 98 concept.
Yeah.
And he was like, go home right now, start that group on Facebook and get a podcast going. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah. No, he's a great
guy. I love that concept.
I know that he supports all of arm wrestling, Paul. I don't think anybody messages them that he doesn't reply to.
No, and he's been like kind of not on social media much because he's like sick of the drama. He just wants to like focus on
involved in it, right?
Yeah,
he wants to.
I mean, even like like he's partners with James on like Keystone stuff like that.
Yeah,
he stayed neutral between me and James the whole time, and he was actually trying to fix it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Paul always wants to look past things and fix things, and yeah, man, he's good, But then I had guys like Ryan Bowen that just,
what's up with him, man? What's going on with him?
I don't know.
I used to think like, oh, this guy is awesome. Look what he did with social media, and he turned it into like a full-time thing for himself. What a smart guy! But then like he self-sabotages himself too.
The thing is, if it's not about him, it's not. He has no interest.
Yeah,
like if it doesn't benefit him in some way, he's not going to come on my little podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
and then he was like taking Gary Roberts like content and posting.
And poor
Gary was like, "I quit. This is enough. Fuck this."
And look at the heart and soul Gary put into his fucking shit. I
Years,
still watch
his whole life.
I still watch those videos, man.
Yeah.
Like,
his whole life is in those videos.
They are. I mean, maybe it was
such a nice guy too.
Oh yeah, maybe it was a good thing, right? In a way, because it made him. He got to focus on his life, right? So,
yeah.
Still, you know, what a gift to the sport. I mean, when arm wrestling didn't matter to anybody, he was traveling all over, fucking
Yeah.
taping everything.
Yeah, and you know, just like us promoters, like when you're doing weekend tournaments and traveling around, like that's time away from your family, your kid, your wife, you know, whatever. He
Exactly.
put all that time in arm wrestling. Like it's not like they were with him the whole time. Like,
I know.
you know, that's a lot of time and effort that he
He
put in.
always does a lot to promote. And look what he did for Tyson Bagent too. Because even when Travis was off doing the Suns, he was there doing documentaries for Tyson and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, he
yeah,
did that match with me and I was like new to arm wrestling and didn't know anything.
yeah,
And he just thought it would be funny.
yeah,
And like that got people to kind of know who I was a little bit
yeah.
too. 'Cause, like
Well, yeah,
did that crazy stuff where he jumped over the table and like
yeah,
attacked me and then he blew
yeah.
chalk in my face.
Yeah,
Like,
I see that. I seen it. Yeah, yeah. No, I forgot you pulled him actually.
yeah, but he didn't have to do that, you know?
Yeah, no, no, and that's just
You know
him.
what sucked though is me and him were like, okay, we're doing 5 rounds. He's like, I'll win the first two, then you win the next two, and then we'll fucking let's just do a huge battle at the end. And after 2 rounds, because he was acting crazy, Travis goes, shut it down. And that was it. I lost twice to him.
Oh
And then they
no!
shut the whole match down, dude. I
Oh
was like, son of a
no!
bitch.
Oh, he
Yeah.
didn't know. Travis needed to be in on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
He
was a
didn't like it.
mistake. Yeah, that
He
was
was
a
like, we're gonna
mistake.
lose sponsors because of Gary.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, that
It's
was
funny though. It was
yeah.
fun.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Yeah, no. I mean, who else wouldn't? I mean, I can't get Michael Monster Todd to reply to me. Yeah, doesn't
Oh
matter how
yeah.
many times I send
Yeah,
him
but you
shit.
know what? He'll reach out when he's trying to get people to buy those bricks or whatever
Oh, yeah.
sponsors.
Well, that's just it, right? It's like, but right now, yeah. But I had a buddy go, "Oh man," I messaged him and he responded right away, and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, do,
Yeah.
typed up the message, and I'm like, "Yeah."
Dude, he sent me like a sponsorship package and was like, hey, would you like to do this like $20,000 sponsorship? And I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, if we had $20,000,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, we can't even afford that $500 brick on the wall
We'll
right
get
now.
right on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had that, you know, and whatever happened to the Monster Factory? Is he gonna start doing that again?
I don't know. I mean, he put all that money
Actually,
in, dude,
yeah.
into it. And I'm like, man, the community
They were
got him
liking
a
it.
really nice
Hardcore.
addition on his house.
Oh, I know. I know. It's a beautiful edition. I know.
Yeah.
Huge edition with like
Right.
massive equipment. Like
Yeah.
the fucking, oh yeah.
I
I
mean, it's
know.
really nice, but I'm like, dude,
Yeah. And that travel bus
there's a
he
lot
had.
of extra in there, you
Yeah,
know?
he had that travel bus where he was gonna, you know, he's gonna do
Yeah.
100 wins,
And
and
I
he ended up
thought,
getting hurt by some guy at a local
oh
tournament.
yeah. I
Yeah,
thought too, like when he launched that, like, oh, we're gonna have a lot of Monster Factory matches,
yeah.
and there's actually less now.
There's none now. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, he did
I
do a
don't get
few,
it.
and I was watching them too.
Yeah, yeah, those were good.
Yeah,
You know,
actually,
very
Joe
simple.
Fox,
Just yeah.
Joe Fox from here got to pull there and won. One of our Alberta guys.
Oh yeah,
He lost, but yeah, but
yeah. I thought I liked those matches because they kept it simple. There wasn't a whole lot of crazy shit going on. Just like you could focus on the match, you know.
well,
And
exactly.
then nice post interview and stuff.
Yeah, and
But,
they'd sit there and they'd
yeah,
holy shit.
sucks. It sucks that it stopped. You know.
Well, I know. I posted my Camaro on Facebook, and everyone's so fucking broke. I got
Yeah.
27 trade offers.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
got one cash offer
Will you
yet.
take my Volkswagen and
Oh, yeah, it's just like
$10?
boats. No, they've been giving me decent. Like
Yeah,
one's a pretty nice wakeboard boat, but I just sold mine because I don't have room for it. So I don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
that one. And then the
Right.
other one was a 2019 Can-Am 1000 fucking it was nice. It was like a $20,000 ATV.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want that. I just
Right. Yeah. It's
I
got to
said
be
a
something
truck.
you want.
Yeah, I said a truck, like
Yeah.
a diesel truck because I don't have one,
Yeah.
or cash. Like, you
Yeah.
know, yeah. But anyway, whatever.
Right. They're shooting their shot. Like, let's see if he'll take this.
Yeah, so one guy's
Yeah.
like, "You want this Camaro that doesn't run, that's rusting, and I'll throw in this boat, and then we'll call it a deal." I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
No.
That's funny.
Then I got one. The thing is that's the thing, you know, you buy these vehicles And then when you got to sell them, the shit you got to deal with, man, like just dealing with the people. You guys got Marketplace there
Oh
on
yeah.
Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I sell
The
everything.
people are
Marketplace.
fucking assholes,
Oh
dude.
man, the trolls. You think the trolls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
sold something for like $600 and the guy shows up and goes, "Oh, all I have is 300 on me."
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
Like, well, there's a fucking ATM right down the street, buddy.
Yeah,
What the
exactly.
hell,
Yeah,
dude?
I know.
Like, what a douchebag move.
That's a real douchebag move. I know. It's like,
Oh,
sorry, buddy. And it's like, well, here it got so bad here that people were meeting at the police station. I'd be
that's
like,
smart.
yeah, they'd be like, oh, meet me at District fucking 6
Yeah.
police station. I'm like, okay. Like,
Didn't
yeah,
like an old couple get murdered? Like they fucking
yeah.
were selling a car and the dude killed them and took the car or something.
Yeah, well, we listen to this 2 years ago. My wife's she's selling a vehicle for me, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not home. So her and my son were home. And some guy said, oh, I'd like to come see it, whatever, blah, blah. He came, he looked normal. She went outside. He's like, oh, can I start it? So she handed him the key and he goes, oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Sounds good. And then he goes, oh, just watch out. Pushed her out of the way, slammed the door, fucking
No.
peeled rubber, and just stole my car.
No way.
Gone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking. Did you get it back?
Oh yeah, I got it back a week later, all fucked up with needles and
Fuck.
fucking. I had to pay $1,000 service to come in and disinfect it and get all the needles.
Oh
out
fuck,
and
dude.
Oh,
Is it like
it
a
was brutal,
junkie?
man.
Just some
It-
junkies fucking.
Junkie dude. Yeah, but he looked normal. Like I didn't even
Yeah.
seen it on the camera. He looked normal. They caught him. He got arrested.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm like, what
Thank
the
God
fuck?
he didn't do something worse to her, you know?
I know. And my
Jesus.
wife's trom now. Now, do you think I can get my wife to sell something when I'm not home?
Oh, no,
way.
no.
Like,
Dude,
fuck
my
no.
wife will post something and
Yeah.
leave it on the front porch in like a bag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And trust that they'll put the money in the fucking
yeah.
thing. And so far, she's been okay. There was one person that was like, "Oh, I only had a 5 on me, so
Yeah.
if you want the other 5, because she was selling something for like $10, if you want the other 5, let me know and I'll Venmo you." It's like,
your guys are
scumbags.
fucked that way. We have, one thing is our money is not worth your money, but we have
Yeah.
way easier means of giving each other money here.
Yeah.
All I
Oh,
do
right.
is just go on my phone, open my thing, hit send money. I go, oh, Ryan Grundy at fucking whatever, fucking
Yeah.
$500, boom, sent. You get
Yeah.
a notification that you just had a $500 deposit in your account. It's called an email money transfer. It
Nice.
takes fucking seconds. I can send you
Yeah.
$1,000, $3,000 within
Yeah.
5 seconds. It's in your account.
See, we use like Venmo here
Yeah,
mostly.
you know why? Because they
Yeah,
want to
same
charge you
concept,
when
but-
you fucking send it, and they want to charge you to receive it.
Yeah.
You don't pay nothing.
There's like a percentage,
They're
Yeah.
free here. I send the e-transfer for free. I got unlimited
awesome.
transactions. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like it's.
Is that the only thing that's good about Canada?
It might be. It might be the best thing. It might be the best thing.
Yeah.
The single best thing. Yeah.
Save on those extra charges.
I don't pay no charges, and I
Yeah.
just like I said, I send you $5,000 or $3,000, depends on
Yeah.
your limit or whatever. But I send it to you. It's just a click of the button. Boom.
Yeah,
You-
here it's like, oh, do you want to do it immediately? Then there'll be $25 charge.
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly.
fuck.
Yeah, that's where it's fucked. It's like I can't believe the United States of America doesn't have e-transfer.
Yeah.
Like,
Or they're like, you can wait 3 to 5 business days and it'll be free. Who the hell fucking sends money and wants to wait 3 to 5
and
business?
it can be instant, but the reason they
Yeah.
don't is it goes into their account and that accumulates and they get the interest on it for those 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's
Crazy.
crazy. I know. It's like even this franchise thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can just e-transfer them. I'm like, no, I can't.
Oh no.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna have to be fucking PayPal, and I gotta pay 7% on top, or fucking.
Oh yeah.
So I started already thinking about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck America there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till they open the border.
Oh, wait till they buy us. Trump
Yeah.
just put a proposal out. I heard that.
Now,
that
can
we
like
have
I
to
don't
vote.
like, can that happen? Can
Yes.
Canada
Yes.
like can
No,
you
he
do
doesn't
that?
want. He doesn't want all Canada. He
Right.
doesn't. He only
I
wants
didn't know like with the provinces if it's like states, like
Yeah, there's states.
I don't
We
think
have our
anybody
own-
could just come by, Pennsylvania.
Well, we can separate from Canada if we want. We have.
Well,
the
that's
right-
what yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can here.
Oh well, we can.
I don't know if we can separate from
Well, you
America.
can under international law. You can.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is depends on your location and
Yeah.
if you're like in the middle and all around you's one country, good luck separating.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they'll just take you over anyway.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, this country's right in the middle of New York and fucking whatever."
Right. Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Well, like those guys in, where was it? Maybe it was New York or Philly. They were trying to make their little fucking bum camp like its own country
Oh,
or some shit. I'm like, Jesus.
They did it in fuck
Yeah.
was it Portland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And they were like sovereign
they were
citizens.
killing
You
people.
couldn't fuck
Like,
with them. Yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't supposed to be there, they'd fucking knife you on the street and shit. And there was no
It's just
cops would
crazy.
go there or nothing. It was
Yeah.
fucked. I'm like,
You
just
gotta
send the military in, man. Fuck. I'm like,
just blow that block up and start
fuck
fresh.
it, nuke it. Fuck it.
Put up a Walmart.
Yeah, like come on, like you know what I mean. You know what
Yeah.
you know what I hate is that these fucking radical fucking freaks like Antifa and shit, they can
Oh my
scream
God.
and freak out,
Yeah.
and they can do they can assault you, they can do everything.
Oh
But
yeah.
like the Proud Boys, remember when they tried to do a fucking thing? They all got arrested, man. They're all in
Yeah.
jail and shit. It's
Dude,
like
like they were
I don't
they
get
were
it.
fucking dropping off pallets of bricks everywhere so that they could smash fucking store windows and
That's
shit. Like,
crazy.
why are there just pallets of bricks on every
Yeah,
corner of this
exactly.
fucking
Oh, they just
neighborhood?
show up and then you find
Yeah.
out who sent them, right?
Right.
They would
Yeah,
search the money and it'd be like, what the fuck? This is a democratic fucking
Yeah.
yeah, like they're sending this shit in.
Shit's
Like,
crazy.
get the show banned now. Yeah. What fucking yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, it's crazy shit. When you hear this stuff, it's like
It's
not
sad. Like we're like a third world country. Like
we
you
are, and
watch,
we don't know it.
you watch the news thinking you can trust it, and it's all bullshit.
Yeah,
It's like whoever paid for that fucking news thing, like they just
well,
fucking
who signs the checks, right? The government pays the news companies now. Because you know, mainstream news doesn't actually make money on their own now. Now they rely on government
It's a shame, dude.
So the thing is
I feel like, don't you think the news should be neutral?
You have to be. That's the thing about news. Unbiased, good reporting, and good journalism. Have you ever noticed there's always a green screen now?
Oh yeah.
It goes out on the
That's
street.
real.
Yeah.
Half the time the shit that's going on in the back isn't even what really happened. It's like actors and shit.
Or it's like big explosions and fire.
Yeah,
We got
that
a peaceful process here. Protest. Yeah, they're peaceful. And there's fire in the building behind me and shit. I seen that video. I was just laughing my ass off. I was like,
you got the wrong background.
Wrong green screen. Wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. But anyway,
I wish it was neutral.
No, I know. Me too. But no, I'm gonna thanks everyone for joining. I'm gonna have to cut this because I gotta go to watch something fierce and it's
thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for coming on. And like I said, listen, I have a big say in the opinion and what we do. I just want to like include my two co-hosts just because it's something I want for all of us. But you know what? I'll be in talks with you by tomorrow.
Yeah, I appreciate you even considering it, man. I would have never even thought about Canada.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm looking at a way to branch us and connect us because, you know, like that's all I've been doing. I've been reaching out. The whole Montana thing with the M spot, that all started with us just happened to have an event where Montana and Canada competed. And then we were like, well, why don't we do this all the fucking time?
Yeah.
And then it turned into something really cool and we had a really good production. I mean, Jody he was dying to get on that production. Jody was going to compete in October.
That's why I'm hoping, like, as we get more franchise, like, you know, you throw an event, maybe some of the franchisees can travel and like go to each other's stuff and like
that's what I'm hoping
support, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And not that you would want that anyway. And then it'd be like, okay, we got the number 1 ranked super in Alberta, Canada, and then you know, we got the 5th ranked number 1 guy in New York, and you know what I mean? And whatever, right?
It'll be more fun, I think, you know.
Yeah, and then you can make.
But we're gonna get a lot of hate doing this, though. You know that.
You get a lot of hate. You get a lot of hate anyway. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I'll do this time that I didn't do the first time is that because everybody knows here that I do promotions. So whether it's I do it with the 98 or I just do it through the fingers or whatever, I'm gonna keep doing promotions. So
I
don't really have any problems. I'm just gonna this time though is watch our scheduling and I'm gonna pick 4 dates like in the year and lock them in so that way there can be no fucking
you have
drama. And also that way
we do that at the beginning of every year now because
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So you know, it'd probably take, you know, after this is all done and that it'd probably take about a month to organize everything because I got to talk to venues. I want to lock everything in, like the events locked in and everything, right? So but I don't see it being a bad thing, man. I really
Yeah,
don't.
no, I think it'll be good, dude. I
I
didn't think we
really
would
do.
get anybody that actually wanted to do it.
Well,
Because, you know, people get weird with like promotion and, you know, there's a lot of people like, oh, no, that's your thing. And
but
I
what
was
if
like,
enough
but
people
then
do it
4
now?
out of the gate were like, we'll do it. And I'm like, oh my God,
Well,
this is
okay, so
awesome.
look, you got the Passmores and Mike and the Big
Yeah.
Country and whoever else you got, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they're willing to do it, and then I do it, and then a couple other guys do it, and then this guy does it, and then
Yeah.
now you're almost going to be the black sheep to go against it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
if it gets big enough where it just benefits arm wrestling, if
Yeah.
you speak out against it, you're like an asshole.
Yeah. And like we are, because of our theme, we're not in competition with like 90% of promoters because East versus West is just about 2%ers, king of the table, you know, and then a lot of these promotions are cater more to like top level pros. We don't.
Yeah.
We just cater to everybody.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
like from the top, from a pro to a novice, we just treat them all the same, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Like it's a lot easier to grow something in numbers, right? Like, so
yeah.
that's another thing too. You know, let's say one of us franchisee fucking dudes or whatever you call it. What if we get in contact and we get a really big sponsor? Yeah, we can hoard it for ourselves, but we might be able to also say, you know what? The sponsor that sponsored me might like the idea that there's 8 other fucking dudes out there in multiple places. And you know what I mean?
Well,
They
that's
might
what I was saying.
say,
It's going to be easier to sell the brand to
yes,
to
bigger
sponsors
promoters.
when you're like, hey, we're national now. Like, not only can I put you on my own website,
Yeah,
I can put you on a website in across the country,
right.
you know, and that's why we're doing this big website we're working on,
Yeah.
you know, and having it professionally done so that each franchisee can have their own section,
Mhm.
you know, sell their own merch, all that stuff so that it benefits all of us. You know, each franchisee can make some money for their own promotion on there, you know?
Sure, for sure. And it would get people creative too. They'd be
Yeah.
like, you know
I'm
what?
sure.
Fucking, you know, I
Yeah.
made this new handle prototype. Now we can sell it on there. You know what I mean?
And I think too, when we have these meetings, all of us, more ideas will just come out. Everybody has good ideas. Like people are sending me good ideas constantly. And I'm like, sorry, I'm like, save that for the meeting. You know, let's get everybody listening to this stuff and we can brainstorm.
Well, exactly, right. And then only that will everybody in these meetings will have a sense of brotherhood and sisterhood anyway.
Yeah.
We're all in it together. So what's good for me is good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll all help each other promote.
Well, that's right. And it's in our
Yeah.
benefit to do it. It's in our benefit.
Absolutely.
Right. So
people are going to get sick of seeing the number 98.
No, it'd just be what it is. It's all good.
Yeah.
But but no, listen, like I said, I'll get in touch with you tomorrow and then we'll talk and then
sounds good, man.
night, man. Yeah, have a good night. Thanks for coming.
Hey, you too. Thanks a lot, man. I had fun.
Wicked shit. Well, I appreciate you on. You're a good guest, man. So
yeah, thanks.
Okay, brother. Well, listen,
see you later.
good night. Thanks everyone for joining us. Take care.